Hello, 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 love wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Start off with the biggest news of the week. The Wrath lost! If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Between two beards.
Getting down.
Hello, 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 love wrestling. Ophelia said it for me in the chat this week.
Ophelia,
It's Thursday.
hi!
You know what that means.
What does that mean, Ophelia? What does that mean? I don't know. Please.
It's time. It
Oh,
means it's another. Well, I mean, we don't know when I assume she'll say it, but it's
I don't know.
another
What if
new
she doesn't?
episode
Dead air.
of Between Two Beards, the 114th episode
What's up,
of Between
turds?
Two Beards. What's up, turds? How we doing in the chat? At first, I thought he said, "What's up, nerds?" And we're going to talk about this. We got a special guest in the back.
We
We're
gotta
gonna bring
guess.
in.
We don't always.
We're going to talk about that. But at first, I was like, "Oh, did he say?"
Yeah, Ophelia got it right. She said B2B, baby. That's right.
It's true. At first, I was like, "Oh, he said what up, nerds," and then I saw on social media everyone was like, "No, he said turds," and I was like, "That makes that 10 times better."
Yeah.
Than what I
Fun
was
fact: this is I just broke my chair. Second chair.
You
I
just broke the chair.
of all time. It just.
Are we gonna see you drop at one point? Is that
No, this one I think the base is sturdy. The back of this one just gave out a little bit.
So you can't lean. If you lean back, you're tipping over.
We're leaning
We're gonna
back.
see your
And
feet.
Mrs. Pluggo, when she hears this, is going to be pissed.
Well,
She doesn't like it when
hopefully she comes in late and she doesn't.
This is busted.
Bro,
Man.
I grew up fat. I can't tell you how many chairs and beds met their demise by me. I can't tell you, but
You're
it was a
right.
fair amount. If there
Anyway,
was a Hall of Fame, I would be in the Hall of Fame.
yes, this
Close,
is
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Close.
After tonight, JPJ
After
is
tonight.
on VK, and
I
that
am on
means next
vacation.
week I'm running the show.
Correct.
I got
Your
a
boy
special
will be
guest.
heading across the pond to Ireland for a week, so there will be a special guest filling in for me next week with Mr. Pluggo.
Put your guesses in the chat, and maybe we'll reveal it tonight.
Yeah, if you maybe. But speaking of special guests, we got a very familiar special guest with us tonight, a friend of the show,
Yes.
one of our oldest friends of the show. He's been with us and on board with us for a long, long time, and we appreciate him very much.
And that's not because we pay him. He actually likes
true.
us.
Yeah, he actually, for
It's
some
Spencer's
reason,
money,
likes
really.
us.
So
Yeah, it's crazy.
it's really not our problem.
No, but we have the fabulous Mr. Warren Hayes.
Woo!
Hello, boys.
Hello.
As you can see, he is the head of Summerslam.
Yes,
We
I
will
am.
He's got
talking-
new plants since
Yeah.
the last time.
He does. He has more
He
plants. It looks like the microphone
Yes.
has a plant coming out of it. Because
No,
it's
look,
feeling like it's crazy.
That is yes, I have it. I think the new plant is this one here,
Yes, that one over
which
there.
is
That is
which is a kangaroo vine. Is what it's called.
Kangaroo vine.
A kangaroo vine, and you don't see it right. Like this one's going nuts right now. You don't quite see it. Hang on a second. Let me show you.
Oh,
It's
here we
very-
go.
it's
I like it. Here we go.
With
Hey.
enthusiasts.
What's the plant word? Like botany?
Hang on, I can't hear
Botany?
you.
Is that the
I
word?
need this thing on here. There we go.
Are you botanist? Is that a botanist? Is that a word?
I'm not a botanist, but I have a green thumb.
You're not a botanist. You just crush a lot.
Yeah, something to that effect. And and this is it's a vine, right? Kangaroo vine, right? And I don't know if you see, like, I have a tutor
like
here, right? That you put in the back.
The leaf that makes it a kangaroo.
I don't know why they call it a kangaroo vine. Quite frankly, maybe it's because the bottom really expands. It becomes like a pouch, and then. But it's been going nuts. Like look, I don't know if you see properly here. You see, there's a tutor here in the back, just to make it grow straight. Look at this. This is just like over a week. Just been going nuts.
Added on. It wasn't like got it.
It's just growing like nuts.
We need to get a new tutor for Warren here. Put it on the tab.
we need a bigger tutor, and that's my ponytail palm over there.
Yeah.
Which is a massive. I got to show you how massive it is. Hang on a second. I don't have an opportunity.
While he can't hear us,
look at this motherfucker. Look at this.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Now, what is the watering frequency of said plant?
What? I can't hear you. I'm behind my plant. See, that's a bit. This is actually very hardy. It's a very easy plant to grow. It doesn't require much water. About every 10 days you need to water.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No. And it enjoys a little misting once in a while.
All right.
And then over there, that's my weeping fig.
I love a fig.
Yes.
I
don't know if that has anything to do with the fruit of a fig. Oh, there's a one off camera as well.
And I've got another weeping fig right here.
Oh, lovely. This is just plant talk right here.
ASMR
All right.
plant talk. All right.
So, Summerslam, am I right, fellas?
I mean, there's a lot of weeds to go through here. Warren is in the middle of the jungle.
I was gonna say, he's joining us from South America. He's in the jungle. He's here.
That vacation spot is treating him well.
It is. Is that a John Moxley with a cigarette in his mouth picture?
Yes. Let me show you.
Yeah. This is one.
It is
wonderful stuff. Just going through.
It is the cover, if I'm not mistaken,
the cover of the book?
Of Orange Crush magazine. I don't know if you guys remember this.
Yeah.
I think this is issue 2, photo by Ryan Loco.
That's a great photo.
It's a beautiful photo of Mox.
Great photo.
It's really
now
amazing.
we've got to put a disclaimer up that says could be smoking in this episode.
No, we're good.
But not like we're not really smoking. It is a photography of a smoker.
Kids don't smoke. It's bad for you.
Warren, thank you so much for that.
What else you got? What books? Let's go through the books alphabetically.
Oh, Christ. I've got my collection of Edgar Allan Poe. You know what? I have a bird. You guys know this. I have a bird. It's been devouring my collected works of Shakespeare. And that's pissing me the fuck off.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
What do you mean that's fair?
Well, you have a bird.
Yeah.
And you just let them loose in that room?
Sure. Birds are very social creatures.
Birds gotta fly, dude.
My grandmother had a bird for a long time, and it was very...
Yeah, it's very. They enjoy their people, they imprint on people, and then they get very confident. So she flies around.
Why do you think there's not more bird-themed wrestlers in the world?
I think nothing can. Yeah, Coco Beware was the pinnacle, I believe.
WWE Hall of Fame.
So after that, everybody was like, "It's played out. We can't do it."
We can't. We'll never do it as well. You know.
You gonna top it?
How do you top Frankie? Frankie was a fucking good bird when you think about it. Going into these arenas with 14,000 people and doing this and Frankie behaving and being
or anything like that, just trained.
What a great bird!
I feel you. I don't disagree. That's a big thing. A lot of people think birds aren't real. A lot of people think birds aren't real.
Warren has a bird. Is it not real, Warren? Like, please.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Trust me.
Let me show you.
Let me show you. Look, I could show you the bird shit that I have to pick up every day because she flies around everywhere. That's real enough for me, fellas, let me tell you.
It's true. Oh, man, what a time.
I just got to say, for those that are new to the program that might be hearing this on a podcast or stumble across it on YouTube, we'd love a like, we'd love the share, we'd also love the subscribe, but this is not your traditional wrestling program. Welcome to Between Two Beards, where we talk plants, birds.
We've had Warren on way more than 3 times, but when we've had Warren, I think, as an official guest, the first time we talked about water, Second,
Yeah.
we talked about rings, professional wrestling rings.
The ring mats,
This time
yep.
we were talking about plants and
We've
Yeah.
talked about Canadian
educational.
geese
We talk about wrestling.
We talk
but
about
it's
Canadian geese as well.
for an hour.
Yes,
There's
we talked
always-
about geese for an hour once. That was something we did do as well.
JPJ
There's always
was
some
getting really
educational-
upset in that episode. He's like,
No.
let's talk about something else.
No, but there's always education
Yeah,
that comes with.
we're more
you know?
more than just wrestling fans.
We're not
Okay,
just,
we're
not
people
just
too.
we're not just
people.
three handsome guys that talk about pro wrestling. We have a lot.
But
of
I mean, we are, aren't we?
Yeah, but we have a
definitely
lot of
are.
knowledge up in our brains, you know? But yes, we will be talking about SummerSlam tonight. We will dive into that. Some discourse about SummerSlam and how that card is lining up as well. Yeah, we'll talk about
there's
that.
some
I do want to
discourse for
touch.
sure.
I do want to touch on some AEW. Obviously, our shows are on Thursday, so there's some stuff that happened on Collision I would like to talk about, and Dynamite 200 last night. And we're not going to dive into it too much, but there was some news about Vince McMahon that also came out in the last couple days that I feel like we should chat about. So I mean, Pluggo, where are we feeling like starting? I feel like we'll save SummerSlam for the
Yeah, we'll save
we'll get
SummerSlam.
through. I agree with you,
Joseph
Joseph.
with it. Yeah, I'm
Great
glad
name,
that
by the way.
one-
Hey,
Great
Joseph
name.
with it.
Great name, Joseph. Great name.
I love that.
Yeah, we are always happy to have Warren.
I
back.
did
It's
want
always
to
a good
touch
time.
base. I did put it in the tweet because I did. It's kind of a full circle moment for me, Warren. If we can do that Wayne's World Wayback Machine where he goes "Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo," and we go back in time. You know what I'm saying? And you and I did a podcast almost I think it was 3 years ago. It was in my car. I was just a little guy in the game. You came on. And we had talked about the same very problems in the AW women's division in my car,
shit.
mind you.
Okay.
We talked about it there, and I was like, they're putting on another show. We're going to see more women's matches, and if anything, it's kind of gotten less and less and less. And there was a lot of discourse this week about it, so much so that they put the women's title match, rightfully so, in the main event. Do you think that that's just a Band-Aid, or do you actually think that they're going to start moving forward? And do something about it? I gotta know. It's weird. We've been talking about this now for 3 years. You think they'd figure it out?
No, well, look.
200 episodes, if you will.
Yeah, we're 200 episodes. And you know what? I do remember that. Wrestling Plug Inc.,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
was the thing.
I sat there,
and-
full disclosure, that day, and I was like, just message him. He's too big for you. And I was like, just do it.
Fuck.
I thought about it, and no, I'm not kidding. I go, just send it. And then you were like,
Look.
yeah, I'm in. And I was like, Mrs. Pluggo, holy shit.
I'll tell you what. Here, my experience with dealing with podcasters and whatnot. Everyone I've reached out to have always been super cordial. If they can't, they just can't, and they upfront tell me, and that is a minimal percentage. Most people are like, absolutely sure. There's 2 people in the history of me doing this that big time me. Only 2, and I'm not going to name them out of respect. But there's only one I understand, and the other one I don't quite understand.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Isn't it always the one that you're like, that person big time? Not that I'm anything special, but you're like, really? You couldn't even say no?
Yeah, well, that's where
At
you're
least
just
give a
okay,
response.
you're just
common
leaving
courtesy
this.
says at least
Oh.
give a response.
I 1,000% thought you were going to say, no, but I appreciate the offer, and I would have been over the moon about it.
But that's happened. Well, okay, well, look, it's silly. If I couldn't, I just would have said, let's find a date, kind of thing. Let's just make it happen.
It was just because I was so new in the game, and I wasn't even sure if I wanted to do them. And then I was like, no, let's do this. Let's give it a
Yeah,
run.
no, it was fun. It was fun.
Now look
Sure.
at us. And now 200 episodes
Look at us
later,
now.
you and I are still talking about the same shit I talked about in my driveway, in my car, on an audio podcast.
Exactly. In your car. That will always
Because-
stick with me.
Quietest room in the house. Kids are nobody.
Because it's not in the house.
The acoustics of the car are perfect for a podcast. It's
This is
quiet.
true.
So it
That's
was
true.
Everybody thought I was weird, but trust me, I would have been a painstaking task to do it at the house I was at the time. Now I've got this luxurious.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about stuff? I got stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyway, women's
I-
division.
I grow shit here.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
what
say,
I do.
do you have a what is that called?
I don't have
This
any-
here?
Pony? No, head. What it has to do with hair.
I
you
have
call
hair.
it?
I have hair.
What's
Yeah.
the name of that plant right there?
Oh, this
Hair-
one.
That's a hairless pig from the
No, it's not.
from the Ugandan nation.
It's not.
It's a ponytail palm.
That's what ponytail.
Yes.
I knew it had
I was like, hair. What is he talking about? Oh, ponytail.
ponytail.
Because I also have another one over here. It's called a maidenhead fern. A maidenhair fern. Yes. But I'm not going to go get that one. It's just over there. It's a little far. I have to leave frame, and that's not fun.
Yeah, not for. We need the handsome.
No, yeah.
So
ponytail palm.
the
Just like
mullet.
so we want to say hi to Ryan Sully, who popped in the chat. Obviously,
We didn't even see him.
Zach left us a comment saying he was waiting patiently, bracing himself for the handsomeness before we.
So
even
while
went
you're
live.
before I get Warren to finally answer after my long-winded spiel about memory lane, in the
Oh,
chat,
yeah.
feel free to talk about how you think AEW should fix their women's division, or at least book it, because that sign was on there for a minute.
Listen,
they did that on purpose, right?
well, they got that sign that was in the audience last week's Dynamite. That
Oh,
made it on
how
air.
fucking embarrassing was that?
Yes, and it makes it on air. Book your women's division better.
Incredible.
Amazing. And then the very next week, the main event, and it was a title match, don't get me wrong, but they've had plenty of title matches that have not been the main event of Dynamite. But the main event is a women's title match, and it was a good match. It was a very good match.
Yeah. Great final stretch. I like that.
Oh, yeah, big time. Do we think, like Pluggo said, we think that was done to answer the criticism of that sign making it on air and just the discussion that has been happening because of that sign? They were like, we're going to have this be the obviously the title change. It's Dynamite 200. It was one of the biggest moments on the show. But like Pluggo said, do you think that's just a Band-Aid to kind of shut people up for a week? Or do we think that this is actually going to start at least a little bit of progression when it comes to how they view and take care of the women's division, hopefully?
I don't know if it was specifically designed for that. Because, listen, if Hikaru Shida had not been on television on other AEW programming, winning matches and heating herself up, I think she was like on a 3-match winning streak before this. You know, like if we still had the rankings, they would have published the rankings and she would have probably been right at the top because she won 3 consecutive matches, like, on Rampage and, on the. So you're like, oh, okay, well then this makes sense. Like, if anything, I think the question you're asking here is fair because I don't think they did a good enough job to heat the match up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they do. When they do promo packages for what's happening on Collision next week, well, they could have done one for, a proper one for Shida, or just Excalibur going, oh, Hikaru Shida tonight is challenging for the title, and she's had 3 wins in a row, so she's earned herself a title shot. Like just anything to give us a little context, right? So maybe it's just a happy coincidence. Maybe Tony had this planned for, the usual quarter hour that the ladies are in. But maybe this week was like, oh yeah, fuck you with the sign then. Maybe, Yeah. It could be.
Real quick, Mrs. Pluggo. She's saying hi to JPJ and Warren, her favorite people.
Oh, hi.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
Don't tell her about the chair.
I will say, did anybody catch last night during the video package? They were like, and they were talking about this. Like, they're like, rightfully so. This match should be main eventing the 200th episode of Dynamite. Like, they just went kind of over the top, where it was like, had that sign not shown up last week, maybe all this stuff would sound better. But it felt like, let's just do it.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing. Like, when did Shida join AEW? Was she one of the first? Was she in from the get-go?
I feel like she was if not a day one, very, very soon after.
We'll tell.
She debuted.
We'll talk about it later, honey. Who told you? And while you pull up those stats, we got a super chat.
We got a super chat for DGMC,
oh, Jesus
which
Christ.
is a friend of the Warren Hayes and the Warren Hayes Show. He said something mean about Goldberg. No matter the podcast Warren goes on, a bald menace follows. Go ahead and play the jingle, Hayes, or sing it. Something.
I'm not singing the jingle. I'm not. Thank you.
You want me to? I think I could.
Did you make? Is it the 52?
It's my son, my oldest son. Who,
Oh, is it really? I didn't know.
Oh,
that.
really?
Yes,
Nice.
yes,
Awesome.
yes,
Very
Yeah,
yes.
it's like 52 me. Yeah.
52 mean things.
Just want to leave that up for the whole show. Chair.
You know. Well,
I'm fat, honey.
Pin the comment. Pin that comment. Pin it at the top of the chat.
Hello, darkness, smile. So what's up? Yeah, speaking of which, Goldberg All In sounds like could be happening.
Is that true? Wait, who said that?
No, come on.
That's not true.
I'm just trying to get him to spit the water out. You know.
You're not getting me that
But-
easy.
You gotta water the
when
distance.
Sheeta was she day one?
She debuted at Double or Nothing 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she is a day oneer. So that's the thing is like outside of Aussie Open last night, everyone who won their match was a day oneer. Everyone who won the match was an AEW day oneer. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff last night that you're like, well, maybe it was a reaction, but there's also other themes that you could attach it to. So like it it's hard to say. But other than the sign being the most embarrassing thing that they could have done
now,
when it is just a
constant.
How can that make air?
I have no idea.
How can that make air?
That's someone in the control room calling the camera and doing whoops that didn't like. It's just someone who completely misread a call. It's just as simple as that. Like these things happen. These things happen. It's just on the worst possible sign. Like had it been a Jim Cornette sign, it wouldn't have been as bad. This was just embarrassing. It was terrible.
Maybe that poor cameraman, and this isn't to throw shade, it's just misread the sign. Maybe it thought it said that they have the better women's division.
But it's not the cameraman who makes the shot.
No, there's a guy on a headset in the back looking at all the cameras going, go to 7.
And the guy's like, stay there. And there's a guy in the booth who sees the shots and says, okay, camera 7. Camera 7 is pointed there.
Well, maybe that guy then. I don't know.
It's that guy. It's the guy in the booth. It's the guy in the truck who pressed the button to put that on air.
Probably got fired.
What if it's Tony?
What if it was?
I mean,
you never know. Maybe.
Well, because we talked to the reason we had the Lufisto interview where she said, she's taking the side of like the division can't grow if the women in the division don't want it to grow. People are saying it's the booking. People are saying it can't. If you don't give it time, it can't grow. There's just all this, and it's been this way for years now. And I'd like to see him get it right. Last night felt like a good step. Yeah. They just got to build.
I haven't listened to the Lufisto interview. I believe it came out earlier today, right, with Fightful. Sure. But she released a tweet with that sign and said, basically, I'm not going to verbatim the tweet because I don't know it verbatim, but it was something along the lines of like the booking isn't the only issue, or something.
She said it was the roster. She alluded that there was people backstage who were being a bitch to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I know.
And then she named them today.
Okay, she named them today. Okay, so I know Pluggo had listened to it. Warren, I'm assuming you had listened to it then, obviously as well.
I picked up it. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I went through it a little fast, but yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I still got about 12 minutes of it left, but the gist was that it was just not a fun time for her at her AEW experience.
Well, I mean, it's unfortunate, but if you have not strong booking, and then on top of that, you have people in the back with some power that are not making it an open environment for other people to succeed. It's just not going to lead to good things, I would think. So, because Lufisto was supposed to be a trainer, right? That was kind of the deal. She was going to come and then be a coach or a trainer or whatever, and it just didn't go well. I mean, you hope the main event last night is a sign of things to come. Like we said, I thought it was a very good match. The title change was nice. But
if you ask me, don't bet your money on it because they've done main events before. They've given us Britt and Thunder Rosa. They've given us Jamie versus who was it? Was it Tony Storm, right? Was it Jamie and Tony Storm that had that absolutely killer? Wasn't he? Yeah, and it was the main event, right? Like they do it like once every quarter.
Yeah, it's true.
You get the main event and nothing else changes. Look, I don't like if we knew how to fix it, for real, then I think it would be simple. But I think there is a lot of components at work here. And it goes in a lot of ways. I think first and foremost, and this is something that I've been, I hammer on, I've been hammering on for years, as long as I've been doing this. If you do not make someone feel like a big deal, the audience will not see them as a big deal. And this goes for any pro wrestler, not just women, right? So, you want to just have someone come on and, have a 3 to 4 minute match and then hit the bricks. Well, like the majority of the Raw mid card, right? No, no one really gives a shit. It's like, okay, well, it's this guy, it's this girl, who cares? But if you give time and if you book them seriously and you give them meat to chew on, then yes, it gets interesting. So yes, there is a factor in regards to booking, and it's creative, whichever way you want to call it. There is absolutely that part there where the less you put your women on, the less people are going to feel like it's worthwhile, So that's one thing. Mm-hmm. I think another thing, which is directly connected to booking, is book the right people as well.
Yeah. You got to put them in the spots to succeed.
Yeah. And you got to put the right people there to get people interested as well.
I would agree.
Jamie Hayter did nothing but work. Mm-hmm. Great work. She got herself over. Serena Deeb did nothing but work. Got herself over. What is Athena doing right now in Ring of Honor? She's working. And you know what? It just so happens they're all great workers. They're all very good professional wrestlers. And they got themselves over just by being on TV and doing stuff and having the opportunity to let that shine. Now, a girl like Sky Blue right now, prospect, has a lot of talent, but was not ready and is not ready for the spots that she was put in. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's a hot take. I think it's fairly clear. I know people like her. She's very charismatic, but she has a long way to go. Like, I'm not burying the girl like I can bury other people in other companies, in other brands. She has a lot of upside. She has a lot of upside, and there's sincerely some stuff there that she really needs to work on. And I think one of the most crucial parts of her presentation is her connection with the fans. But look, I'm not breaking down. I'm not doing that here because that's beside the point. But the point, though, is that Sky Blue being featured heavily on television and going, she's not ready yet for that kind of stuff. So why are we insisting on doing that with her when you have at your disposal right now a plethora of really talented women? Taya Valkyrie, she exposed herself quite a bit, I find, as maybe being a bill of goods to a degree, where you're like, these matches aren't great. She's not running the ropes properly. What's going on here? She's been doing this for too long to be pussyfooting around the ropes. It doesn't matter. Like, this doesn't work. Yeah. So, it's not that they don't have. I don't think the roster has tremendous amounts of depth, but I do think it has enough talent for it to be better showcased and more interesting than what it is. Mm-hmm. And to me, I am baffled to this day that right now, amidst all these criticisms, Britt Baker isn't put back front and center of this division. Now, yeah. Britt is a star. She is a star, and she is the face of that women's division. She's one of the stars of this company.
Yep.
From the moment they started leaving her get a mic and have some promo time, she just took over. And she is a star. She gets reactions. People love her. She's a fine pro wrestler. I think there's better workers in the company than her. That's beside the point, because she got herself over in the other way you can get yourself over in pro wrestling, and that is being a superstar. Jade was a problem because Jade has the presence, has the charisma, but it was not it in the ring. And I don't know how many reps she pulled with Bryan Danielson. I don't know. Like, but that she just dragged the whole segment of the division down with her and her microcosm that she had around her. So my point being, put Britt back front and center. There's no one more exciting, more compelling, more loved by the AEW faithful. I don't know where I was going with that acronym. Then Britt. She's spectacular. The only reason that I think that Britt is held back is because Tony Khan is very online. He's a very online guy.
Everybody's like, "Oh, Britt again." Oh,
and for some, and I do not understand Pluggo.
I don't either.
The hatred this woman gets.
I don't get it. They call her Charlotte Jr. Although it's like Charlotte, it's all this, it's all that. It's like,
look, we were talking about Lufisto when Lufisto did her vague tweet last week.
Tweeting, Zach said.
Yeah, according to Zach, she's still tweeting right now on Twitter.
Okay, good for her. Yeah. But you know when she did her vague tweet and she alluded that people were being bitches to her? Everyone said, "Oh, Britt Baker." Turns out it's not Britt Baker.
Yeah, she didn't mention Baker once in that. No, it was people you wouldn't have thought.
And honestly, look, Jamie Hayter, fantastic, and it's a shame that she had to be kicked away. Tony Storm, fantastic pro wrestler, great on promos, but the star of this show for the women is Britt. Put her front and center again. Start from that, and then in the meantime, you can build a mid card. And this is a problem that not only exists in AEW, it exists everywhere else. Fellas, you have a champion. A champion feuds with a challenger. What's a mid card for? It's to heat someone up so that when the champion is done with that challenger, there's someone ready to go, right? Someone who's already been heated up, who's won a few matches that people are like, oh yeah, this person might have a chance, right? No one does that. And we're talking about AEW here, but WWE's the same. And I would even go as far as to argue that no one in North America right now is doing women's wrestling correctly. No one. Even the Oasis that is supposed to be Impact Wrestling is not either. They have more than their share of issues as well. Maybe they have people that we feel should be pushed and they're being pushed well, but it's not a bed of roses over there either. Trust me, it's not all that great. You have Masha Slamovich, you have Diana who what great matches coming out of here. But anyway, no one is doing it right. Correct. Not even in the fucking indies where you can barely book one woman per show. GCW does that. GCW, biggest fucking indie, running out there in the United States, one women's match a show. Yep. So no one's doing it right, and no one is taking advantage of this situation to say, okay, well, let's do it for real. Let's go. The WWE's women's division is all reduced to a bunch of nonsense. What, we have Maxine Dupree doing the fucking worm on Monday nights, and that's the women's contribution. Oi, bravo, folks, bravo, gents. There's no one is doing it properly, and my wish in this situation is that we set aside tribalistic lines here and just take a nice deep pause and we take a deep breath together and we look at the landscape and we're like, AEW, WWE, Impact, they all suck. They all suck when it comes to women's pro wrestling. The only place you will get professional wrestling for women where they are treated like athletes, where they go on and do great things, fantastic matches every single time they come out, is in Japan. It's the Joshi promotions from head to toe who are carrying women's wrestling to this day. There's no other place that treats it like it's supposed to. End of rant.
That was a wonderful rant. We got another super chat.
We're just gonna put this up real. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah. I was gonna say, put that up. And I was going to segue that and say, if you want to guarantee that your statement gets read on the air with all this, Warren saved that. He didn't even tell us that was coming. You got to do what DMGC did here and put a super chat on the board. Any question, any statement. Death of the pro wrestling
mid-card over the past 15 to 20 years. Death of the U.S. middle class. What's Noel and Liam Gallagher doing in the Impact Zone?
You're not.
But you do a graph. I'm sure you do a graph.
Yeah.
And I know that AEW took a lot of the headlines with the sign last week, but we've been talking about it too, and we'll talk about it when we dive into SummerSlam preview here in a little bit. But like Becky and Trish not making SummerSlam, and they're two
Rhea
of the
Ripley, the
greatest
hottest
female
woman in
wrestlers
their
of all
company,
time.
not
Rhea
on the
Ripley
card.
Not on the card. So you're
Makes
just
no sense.
No, nothing's making an impact. Yeah, you're not wrong there. There's
I see
a lot of
the
great
ESPN top 30 under 30,
I
right?
saw that.
And they have Liv Morgan at number 9.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan. No disrespect to Liv. She's a fine little act. But as far as a professional wrestler goes, number 9, hit the bricks, pal. And this is what I mean when it's not just a question of giving them time. It's a question of pushing the right talents. It's a question of putting like you guys said it. What the fuck is Rhea Ripley doing off of SummerSlam? Why is she still being a geek to Dominic Mysterio? This is stupid. We got to like.
Well, I mean, Dominic was
it's
number
ridiculous.
5 Dominic was number 5.
Dominic was number 5. Yeah.
Obviously.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I saw that list.
That's
and I
NXT
was
North
like,
American
oh,
champion Dominic Mysterio to you guys, all right?
Superstar.
How dare you? How dare you?
It's just becoming a thing that like, and we see it all the time. And you brought up the indies, but I will give some indie promotions credit. You're seeing a lot more all-women shows pop up on the indies. West Coast Pro comes to mind.
Defy had one.
Sure.
Defy had one.
Well,
But these major companies are just like, we can't figure out how to get 3 matches on or storylines. We're not even saying book them in the main event.
I don't know how to book women's.
Yeah.
Women's is so different from men's. Jesus Christ, they're pro wrestlers. Just treat them. It's so simple. Treat them like pro wrestlers. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Put them in angles with. But we're so. See, here's the other thing. We're so.
Cancel ESPN.
Yeah. Like Daniel Garcia. Did you see that? Did you see what he did?
No, what did he do?
He tweeted out ESPN with the garbage emoji.
Yeah.
And then he deleted it, of course, because that's what he does. He tweets out something inflammatory and then he deletes it because he knows everyone's already seen it.
Yeah.
But where were we? Fuck, I lost it. Sorry.
Sorry, that was Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, Dominic.
Something.
Yeah,
Women are different than men.
It just
on the indies. That's it.
Got it back.
But you're right. There are places that do it better, and then and you're like, and you wonder why these big companies can't do it. But the thing that we have, this fascination that we have in North America, that everything has to have a goddamn story. Where it's like, well, how does this work? How does this fit in? And you see it sometimes. Why is this match happening? A match can happen just because it's a cool match. You know what I mean? Like that could be your story. I just want to see cool. Aussie Open were defending against the Luchadors last night, Vikingo and Commander. Yeah. And you're like, what's the story here? Who cares? It's a cool match. I just want to see cool matches. And that's what we want. So you don't have to, we have this tendency to always overthink things. And when I say we, I mean bookers, I mean people in charge of creative aspects of pro wrestling, instead of just jumping in and going, well, these are fighters that are paid to fight. In the kayfabe, they will make money if they go into the ring and fight, and they will make more money if they win. So
Warren
has
turned our chat into all cap city over here.
Oh, I love it.
We got Zach yelling.
And I also I've never really understood this. And oddly enough, Shawn Michaels has done it a few times down in NXT. But why can't women have the same angles that the men? They have all these different angles and story tropes in pro wrestling that the men always do. Best friends turning on each other, tag teams breaking apart, doing this, that, or this, that. Why don't the women ever do any of this?
I agree. Why
don't, what's the difference?
What's the difference? The greatest female superstar that WWE has developed in the past 5 to 6 years, right? This woman right here. Yep. How did they do? She got punched in the fucking nose, and then after that. And then after that, it was like, I'm coming here to beat people up.
And
it's pro wrestling.
She was the most popular person in the company at that
exactly. Point. And it wasn't like, oh, someone stole my makeup kit. Or it's like, oh, you didn't like my photo on Instagram, or any kind of stupid ass bullshit like that. It was just, Becky Lynch is a fucking badass, and she's coming to kill everyone. And we all bought into it. Yes, we 100%. All believed it. There was no one hotter in that entire company. I agree with you, JPJ, by the way, just to make sure that it's clear. There's no reason to have like these little tropey little, whatever the hell they're doing with Kiana James and the two and Brooks and Dunn, like all that bullshit. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why can't these people just fucking wrestle?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It makes no sense. It's just so bizarre how, and again, this is the book. I just don't understand how you can't just go, oh, we have these two female wrestlers we like. We want them to fight each other. Why can't either they just fight each other badasses? Or it's always like, oh, well, let's have someone be jealous that they're fucking with a guy or this or that. It's like, no, not that. No, like we're all
unnecessary
women on a daily basis. They are the same as we. Like, what the hell are we doing? What are we doing?
I agree.
Makes no sense.
It's always weird to me, and this is not exactly just women's related, but especially in like NXT, like Shawn Michaels and Triple H would have never put up with these storylines if they were given to them back in '97. They'd have been like, "Are you serious right now? You want me to play an Italian doctor?"
Of the barbershop window down in NXT, he's kind of taken a few things of like, "Hey, this worked for me back in the day. Why don't we try this with the?" And in those moments, they kind of worked. It's like, why are you not doing that? They worked for this. They will work. Just because they're women doesn't mean that won't work. It is a fucking wrestling storyline. It's been the same 12 stories for fucking 50 years, guys.
Do you remember? Do you remember just a couple of months ago when what's her name, JC Jane, when she turned on Gigi Dolan and she drove her through the fucking door, right?
Yeah.
And how awesome that was.
Correct.
And we were like, let's fucking go, JC. Did fuck all with her.
Yep.
But this is, look, I really don't want to get into NXT.
No,
because
that's why we brought you here, Warren. Your deep love for NXT.
You can if you want, though.
Let it out. This is a safe space.
It is a safe space.
No.
One thing positive I will say about NXT before we move on: Carmelo Hayes and Dragunov. That was a good one. That was
pretty good. That was
pretty good. But yeah, and
let it out,
there you go.
The
Bobby Heenan, Gigi was trying to escape. My favorite line in that whole Shawn Michaels thing, still to this day. Jannetty trying to dive through the window to escape. Tremendous. He don't need you. He's going, see, one without the other, and then immediately, he don't need Jannetty. He don't need Jannetty.
He don't need, and no, he didn't need Jannetty.
No, he didn't. He certainly didn't. But I mean, geez Louise. Anyway, hopefully it's a problem that eventually goes away, but I have little faith because, like Pluggo, you said, we've been arguing about this problem for longer than 3 years. But you talked to Warren about it 3 years ago, and we're still talking about it.
Yeah, it's just weird how nothing's changed. It actually got worse.
Very bizarre. It was like, it's very, very bizarre. All right, that was good. That was hot. That got hot there.
I got heated, steamy.
Yeah,
steamy. I need to
I liked it.
Take a break here.
Right.
When Warren's on the scene, the steam just rises. That's what
obviously we were the AEW thing was what sparked this women conversation. Even though, like Warren said, it really can go through the whole wrestling community.
Maybe just to wrap it up, that's what frustrates me the most. Because AEW for some peculiar reason is underdo. I like that.
That's true. Out there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
For some reason, AEW is constantly under this microscope where everyone is like over-analyzing and observing every small detail. And, meanwhile, the other company has, people performing, alleged sexual crimes. And, that's basically, oh, well, who cares? Yeah. But, the women's situation always seems to turn to happen when, displeasure happens with AEW, then it becomes AEW's problem in AEW. But like I said, my wish would be for everyone to realize that the problem is systematic. It's larger than just one company. It's a problem that exists everywhere. And I mean, yes, that's one thing. the dudes that are in power. This is someone who told me this not that long ago about WWE. You know, the people who are in power in WWE were people who were in power 30 years ago.
Yeah,
it's the same people.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, and you know, you can argue Triple H was still wrestling, but come on, let's be honest.
Yeah,
right?
he had some. Yeah, he had
some.
Maybe.
Some.
By some, what do you mean, JPJ? Please expand.
But if we were to, we need to realize that the problem is systematic. It exists everywhere, and it's not any better in WWE. You know, they may be booking more women's segments, but the matches that are being put on are laughable. So, you know, it's not just a question of quantity, it's a question of quality. One, you know, people will hit their stopwatches and they'll time the matches and will say, we got this much pro wrestling, this much from the women, we got this much and this much. But, you know, there's qualitative and there's quantitative. And both need to be observed in this situation. It can't be just one or the other.
Yeah. And DGMC, he said, you know, Lufisto, she had a point about there needing to be more women involved in creative, in general, I would say, but especially for women's wrestling. Are there a ton of female or women agents or coaches that run these like there needs to be more.
But general. I understand that. But I also want to bring this back to another point that we were just making in regards to, you know, we just want women to be treated like wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
So who cares who's agenting them?
It's true.
Is my point, right? Yeah. That's one thing. But maybe on the creative side, you know, especially when it comes to WWE, when it comes to coming up with the stories, maybe they would need, you know, people who are actually connected to how women live. And not just stereotypes. And maybe it would be nice to have a women being around the table and saying, hey, you know what? Girls don't talk like that.
Yeah, a girl would not react that way.
We would not react that way. Or, you know, we don't care because we're not Instagram influencers, we're professional wrestlers kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of, there's levels to that. And I agree to a certain limit where it's like, if we want everyone to be treated like professional wrestlers to a degree, I don't care who's producing the match. I don't care who's agenting the match. It should be someone who understands how to put a match together, period. Yeah. And, you know, we've credited Fit Finlay in the past in WWE NXT for putting on that great Royal Rumble that one year. Yeah. And other great women's matches. As far as I know, Fit Finlay's a dude. You know, it's like,
he was very adamant about, like, we hit like this, why aren't they hitting like this?
Yeah, you know, see, so that's the
just have some good minds about it. You're right. It doesn't matter who. Just get it done.
So I yes, to a degree. I just want the best minds for the thing. But when it comes to sitting down and scribbling out lines, yeah, maybe we should need a couple of more women and a couple of more women in power who can veto these things in and say, yeah, you know what?
We don't
this
talk
doesn't
like
make sense.
that.
We don't talk like that. Yeah, exactly. You know,
it's that old trope from TV shows where you've seen it, every classic comedy in the world where they go, what happens at women's sleepovers? And it's always pillow fight. That's not how that always works, guys. No. So that's why we're saying we need some people in that room saying, no, don't put that out there. Let them talk like real people. Let them be real people. Let them be Becky Lynch and kick some ass and take some names. That'd be wonderful. We're probably not the three guys that probably know how women feel on the inside, but we know that what we see on TV is not great.
It's an inaccurate depiction.
It's inaccurate.
It's just, you know.
I couldn't write for a contemporary woman's character on television. You know, I couldn't. But when I see one and it's not working, it makes me uncomfortable, and I can go, well, this is not good, because that's not how it goes. You know,
it's true. It's true. We have Sullivan saying that he always has pillow fights. Well, you know, who doesn't like him? All right. I know. No, but before obviously.
But hey, shout out to everybody in the chat for being respectful on the topic, keeping it clean, having
for
a good
sure.
time.
We
love our people here.
Yeah, we love our people. We got
and Warren's people that are here too. Thanks for coming.
We got a few of Warren's gang that decided to join us. Hopefully, this won't be.
He still hasn't said that mean thing about Goldberg that DGMC had.
That is true. He was waiting.
Well, you guys read it. It was said. It's fine.
Okay. We didn't know.
You got his money anyway.
Hey, listen.
On our show, you get soft about
money.
Goldberg?
Maybe he'll come back.
Yeah,
It's
like, to this Beards thing.
DGMC knows who I am. I'm in the chat with him on Tuesdays most weeks. Yeah. He knows who I am.
Oh, God. No, I know. There's going to be blowback. Oh, I know there's going to be blowback. That's fine.
Well, we'll see you Tuesday, Warren.
It's going to be appointment viewing next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. All right. I did want to talk a little bit about other things that happened on AEW this past week before we move on to the SummerSlam preview in a little bit. And if you don't know, Warren releases every week. He releases a AEW Dynamite review and he releases an AEW Collision review. If you are fans of those, I would suggest adding that to your arsenal of things you listen to. They are very well thought out. Yes, and on Sundays, Big Money Drew, the guy who made Warren laugh with that Hot Ones joke. Me and him do a show every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. here on the Twitch version of Love Wrestling called Firmly AEW, where we talk about the whole week of AEW wrestling. But I did want to discuss the CM Punk Ricky Starks segment that happened on Collision. I want to discuss all of us expecting MJF to turn on Adam Cole at the end of that match on Collision, and that didn't happen, plus some stuff on Dynamite. But DGMC coming in hot again.
DGMC, the man, the myth, the legend.
Saying that JPJ looks like Charlie Gully, who's I guess a Florida wrestling promoter, and it's distracting. Well, I mean, I can't control how handsome I am. I apologize.
His stars, is that so good? I mean, I heard Amel kind of got himself in some hot water, but
he's pretty good. I've heard nothing but good things about Heels. I have not watched it, but I've heard it's pretty good. And he says, I watch JPG on Heels every week. Great show on stuff. I've heard good things.
Mrs. Pluggo sends it to me and says I should watch it, but I don't want to pay for stars. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a broke bitch. Okay.
So it's fine. It happens.
No money.
Here's my thing. So I want
to
preface
breaking chairs.
I know.
Shh, I think she's still listening, bro.
You said you're a wrestling fan. That's breaking chairs is part of the. That's what we do.
I don't break chairs in a cool.
Just say you did it for the show. Just say you did it for the show.
I do it while so the first chair was it was a wooden chair and it just decided to collapse on me mid Jody Threat interview. Embarrassing. And then this one just snaps on me right before Warren goes, this is a metal chair, too. And this is nice. Mrs. Pluggo is going to be pissed. So listen, if y'all want to throw some more super chats in there for the chair fun.
He's doing his part. He's doing
I got to replace this thing or Mrs. Pluggo is going to.
Here's my thing. You grew up, and I say this as a bigger gentleman. You've grown up. Has most of your life, have you been on the chubby side, Pluggo?
Me?
Like me? Like I grew up big?
No. No, okay, so I got big as an adult because I don't know what I was like in high school.
Yeah, okay. My thing is, how the hell are you trusting anything wooden to sit on anyway?
Because it's what I had down here. Because here's the thing. Here's how it works. All right, before we get into actual wrestling.
I'm going to be honest with you.
This is how it works. Backstory, story time with the Pluggo.
When I go out, if I'm looking at, if I'm going to an establishment, and I walk in there and I'm already looking at the furniture, I'm going, okay, where are we at? I can trust that area. Cannot trust. I'm not going over there if they tell me to go over.
We're not made of money over here. We don't got a lot of money, but we got the nice chairs.
Get a real chair, Pluggo.
We got
a stump. Get a stump.
Stunt chair.
It's a gimmick chair. We got the nice chairs and we got these other chairs that we don't use. And I was using those because I was being respectful of the nice chairs. And there were these old wooden chairs that Mrs. Pluggo's had for years. And I was just sitting there and I was doing my thing and it just cracked out from under me and snapped and I literally dropped down, popped back up. So I went upstairs and I've been using one of the nice dining room chairs. We got these metal chairs, some substance to them. And like for some reason, the backing, the weld just snapped on me right before the show. So yeah, listen guys, it is what it is. I got a sturdier chair. What is a real chair, Mike from Indeed? I am broke. I'm poor. What's a real chair? I thought this was a real chair. Apparently, this chair's integrity is about as thick as Vince McMahon's integrity.
Wow.
On me.
Holy moly.
And I'm just, listen, I need super chats because Miss Pluggo will be home and I'm going to be taping this thing up, super gluing it, something. I don't want her to see what happens. She's going to come down here
and be like, this chair?
She texted me and she said,
duct tape on it for them.
Exactly. Like, it's just a secure down. I don't know. It was one of the kids.
Yeah, that's you got
kids.
Owen on the you always blame the kids.
It's Owen.
The kids. That's what they're there for.
I broke a chair. Again, another one. So I'm gonna have to figure this out. A stump might be the way to go. In the chat, what should I be sitting on that's sturdy enough to hold my I don't know, I might split that thing in two as well.
Who knows? Who knows? All right. I want to preface this. I want
Pluggo's chair needs neck surgery.
Neck surgery. All right. I want to preface this by saying that I thought this segment between Ricky Starks and CM Punk was very good. It was a very good segment. Very good. Mm-hmm. Two guys who can cut good promos, cutting good promos against each other. CM Punk obviously comes out. He talks about Ricky cheating a little bit, but the juice started when Punk admittedly said, "You remember when I came back and I said I'm not going to be the nice guy anymore? Well, here we go." And he takes the belt out, spray paints the X over the belt, made sure that E, I don't know if you guys remember what that stands for, made sure that E was very not visible. But he does the X. He says, this X is synonymous with me. Nobody's pinned me. Nobody's beat me for this. I'm the real world's champion. He says it.
I'm straight edge. I'm better than you.
Yes, he goes back to his old promo, the old Ring of Honor that they used on the WWE documentary and all that stuff. I'm straight edge. That means I'm drug free. I'm alcohol free. And it means I'm better than you. Great callbacks. Great all that stuff. Ricky Starks comes out, says, I beat you once one-on-one, but I beat you twice. I deserve a shot at that. I deserve that title. And they're both in the ring going back and forth, having a great promo about who deserves to be world's champion. And I know he's involved in other things on the show. But the real world's champion is literally in the building. How does he not? Again, it has nothing to do with the actual segment because I loved the segment. But in the back of my mind the whole time, I'm like, MJF is there. And I know he's involved in other shit. He's got a main event title match at the end of the show. I get it. But how is he not coming out at least or showing up on the screen being like, hey guys, I'm actually the AEW. You know what I mean? And I get it. They're going to do the Punk Starks thing, but they're obviously heading towards MJF and Punk. Duh. Oh, they've been taking digs at each other since Punk's comeback. Even before.
If it was subtle before, it's not anymore.
It's not subtle anymore. It's not subtle anymore. But when MJF is in the building, how that as great as that segment was and as much as I enjoyed it, going through my mind, I was like, where's MJF? How is he not saying anything about this?
You want? Here's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
MJF is like,
I'm above this. I don't give a shit.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares about you, you absolute loser who left the company and I had to carry this shit on my back? Like, MJF's rebuttal promo to him is going to be fucking gold. Yeah. It's going to be extraordinary. And I cannot wait to hear him just like tear him apart. Because the thing is that MJF is going to be able to go, you did this to me twice now, bro. You did this to me when I was a kid. Remember that promo?
Yeah.
When he said when you walked out on me, and I was like, and now you walked out on me another time. Yep. You walked out of this company twice. You walked out on me twice. You son of a bitch. Go around with your plaything. Do your little Hulk Hogan thing. Have fun. But, the AEW World Champion will continue doing his thing. And whatever piece of tin you got there, that's up to you.
And we got BGMC coming in hot again with another super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot.
You're the man,
we appreciate
BGMC.
That. He says, my God, we're going to get heel Punk versus face MJF in the year of our Lord 2023. I guess this is what TK was building to last year before, Okay, so CM Punk is still being positioned as a babyface from a creative standpoint but he is being as heelish as he possibly can. Or trying to, like, making it clear, like,
Whenever he's talking to the audience, he's a heel.
He's a heel, yes.
But then when he starts interacting with FTR, he's a good buddy. He's interacting with Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is clearly, turning heel right now.
Heel, yep.
So he's baby facing it up, But the minute he starts talking to the crowd, look, you said it yourself. First of all, he said it on the first Collision. I'm done being the nice guy.
Yep.
And people are still wondering, is he gonna be a babyface or a heel? It's Jesus Christ. Yeah. He literally said it. And he said it again last Collision.
He did.
I'm done being the nice guy. Mm-hmm. How, other than having John Cena turn his heel in the ring, I don't know how you could make it clearer. Neon signs in the back, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyone who's hanging on to, no, I think he's going to be a babyface. Jesus Christ, you're just not paying attention. You're just you're doing it. You're fixing some haute cuisine while Collision is on. Just as simple as that.
Yep. And so that promo happens. Great.
Well,
promo.
real quick, I just wanted. I loved all the points you two made on that too, and I think part of the reason that you don't have MJF say anything is because then you immediately default to Ricky Starks has no shot.
That's the best booking point.
Yep.
Absolutely. Cheers, Pluggo.
See, Pluggo. This is why Pluggo's here.
Broken chair and all. I'm good to go.
Warren,
No,
you do have to sing now, though.
Oh, you do,
but you do have to.
It's
sing.
required on this show too.
Oh, do I? Okay.
In the contract.
I'll do that because she's here. Kristen Ashley, the first lady of the Mr. Warren Hayes show. Yeah.
Lovely.
She told us since we steal you on Thursdays, sometimes you have to.
And then Spencer saying you're so handsome and cool. Hey, Warren.
Or is that Zach? Because that's all.
I like Hab guy talking to Kristen and saying he's been yelling the entire time, basically. So that's,
yeah.
I mean, look at it. If you know Warren Hayes.
After he showed us his plants, he went off.
Kristen, you did miss it. The first 5 to 10 minutes, he was showing off his plants and other things in the room. They're really down by his feet because he was literally showing them off. So we had agricultural hour with
this is
horticulture
hour.
Horticulture, that's right.
These are plant-based wrestling.
And I agree with you, Ophelia. I think that's what makes Warren special. It's not yelling, it is passion.
Thank you, Ophelia.
Yes. Okay, so
we Ophelia on that one.
Ophelia coming in clutch. Later on that evening in Collision, the main event was for the Tag Team Championships. FTR defended. Great match.
It's a stroke. DGMC is killing me today.
DGMC is going nuts in the chat.
Or don't have a stroke on this program, please. No. We don't have.
I don't know when it's going to happen. That's some long-term storytelling I have going. The onset of my stroke. So we'll see what happens.
Between 2 beards and 1 fern.
There it is. There it is. FTR retains, beats MJF and Adam Cole. After the match happens, MJF is in the corner, really, really beating up himself because he took the pin. A rare MJF taking the pin, by the way. Very rare.
Yeah, he's taking 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, not a lot.
His last singles pin was against Wardlow in 2022.
Yeah, that was the Vegas
cut
flight.
The promo and then took off. Yeah, that was.
And then hit the bricks. Yeah. He had to catch a flight.
Yeah, he had to catch a flight. So they lose. MJF's really beating himself up. Everyone, and I was one of them. I think we at one point we all were since this whole thing started, it's all, well, MJF's going to turn on Adam Cole, and we all know what's happening around here. But MJF was brilliant at the end of this, by the way, too. Just the emotion. He's crying. You can just see it. It looks like, shit, he's going to hit him with the belt. Here it is. This is the MJF. We all know this piece of crap. And then exactly. Throws the belt away. They zoom in. He's crying. You could see the anguish and emotion on his face. They embrace. They hug. And everyone's like, oh, my God. All right, they're keeping it going for a little bit here. So that kind of throws everyone for a loop. Then on this Wednesday's Dynamite, MJF comes out and cuts a babyface promo. Yes, he did call himself our scumbag in it, but it was still a babyface promo.
Which I love that.
Yeah. And
because you're not an asshole. You're our asshole.
Exactly, and that's what it was. And now, a lot of people, I would say a good amount of people are now kind of thinking that maybe Adam Cole will be the one that turns. And I saw a thing on Twitter, social media today, where the way that Adam Cole hugged MJF, he did like the backstabbing thing with his fist, and it was the same way he hugged Roderick Strong before he turned on Roderick Strong when they were in NXT, and everyone's saying, "Oh, look how he hugged him," and But with the CM Punk stuff in the background, where it is very clear whenever that happens, MJF is going to be the babyface in that. At least that is what I believe. Do we think, Warren, where are you? Do you think Adam Cole will be the one? Or do you think maybe they just remain friends because it's so over and they're like, hey, why not? Let's keep them amicable.
I'm very much look. The one thing you cannot deny is that this brochacho stuff is working. Like, huge quarter hours.
Oh my God, yeah.
Huge quarter hours. People tuned in droves to watch the match on Saturday. Like, tremendous numbers. People are buying the merch. Like, it's ridiculous. So it's working. So your business sense might be to say, drag this shit out a little longer, Tony. Milk it. But I'm also a guy who's like, leave them wanting more, right?
Yeah.
Don't drive it into the ground because there's, WWE has a tendency to do that. They'll start something up and then they're just gonna drag it out for so long. It's just gonna end up. It's gonna nosedive into the dirt, and you're gonna be like, I'm so sick of this,
Name one. Come on. You're just being a hater. You're a mark. You work for the AEW guys, don't you?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Of course. Yes. I'm one of paid media. Yes. Look at all my plants. How do you think I afford them? The idea that you have to drag it out, I don't necessarily believe in it. Au contraire, I think the angle is hot now. Make it hotter by just giving us a nice, real, proper story bump.
Yeah,
a heel turn, a betrayal. Why wait till the angle is out of steam to do the betrayal? Do it while it's hot. Do it while it's hot.
Yeah.
While no one is necessarily expecting it, and everyone loves it.
Okay, that's the last one. I promise. That's the last one. I'll let you finish.
You got to give the people what they want, Warren.
Everyone is so fucking clever.
And there's some people, and DGMC threw a couple of what he thinks might happen. I have what I think would be a good way to do it, but I want Warren to finish his thought first.
But honestly, I don't. It doesn't really matter to me right now how they go about doing it. I just think what I find is spectacular in this situation is how they're preparing MJF for CM Punk, and they're driving. This is what we're doing, right? I think this is clear at this point. Heel CM Punk. He wants to be a heel. He wants to, right? And creative has been a little iffy on it. They've been like, no, we're starting Collision up. Ticket sales. We want you to be the good guy, but he's like, I don't know. I don't want to do this for long. He wants to be a heel, okay? He's into it. And them turning their top heel, MJF, into a babyface is spectacular work they're doing now. This is really top-notch stuff. Plus, and this is something like outside of all the discussions of who's going to turn on who, how great is MJF at professional wrestling on every aspect? Look at this guy. An absolute shit heel, a scumbag. Someone that is just absolutely detestable, that says the worst, most vile shit to people. And then all of a sudden, we flip the switch, and he is the most likable human on earth.
Yep.
And he works it. And he gets people behind. This guy can fucking do it all.
Yeah.
He truly is a superstar.
25 or 26 years old. Ridiculous.
Insane.
Ridiculous.
Number one on the ESPN 30 and
As he should be. As he should be. I mean, he's proven it to you. Like Warren just said, you want to be a heel? Top heel in the business, or top heel in your company at least. You
and this is a guy,
top baby face in your company.
And this is a guy then who says, and then this is a guy, while he's a heel, he says, I don't want to work. I'm not here to do these 5-star work rate nerd matches for you. Fuck, he goes and does a 5-star work rate match with Bryan Danielson for 60 minutes.
Yeah. He can.
You know what I mean? He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good, and it's disgusting how good he is.
Yeah, it's very great. It's wild. And I think. And he's teased it before. He's done a couple, like obviously when he's in Long Island, but he's teased it before that he could cut a babyface-ish promo. But now
what's up, Buffalo? I just remember that after the Punk stuff.
Yeah. What up, Buffalo?
What's up, Buffalo? Right,
so DGMC up a little bit earlier. He says that he thinks Cole turns because he's anticipated MJF turning on him since day one, basically. But then he also said he's predicting that Roddy screws over Cole at All In, and MJF is kind of behind it all by manipulating the fall of their friendship. I think that's clever. I would think that would be a clever way.
I like Kristen.
I like Kristen.
I'm putting it up.
Right here. The only way this should go is that Roddy takes off his brace, revealing it was fake the whole time, and then stuffs MJF in a trunk, and then surprise Dexter Lumis is All Elite.
That's the kind of chaos I need in my wrestling life, Kristen.
And then plot twist from Mike, Roderick teams up with the King, because they did tease that last night, which I liked. I'm a big Kingdom guy. They're hometown boys for me. Been watching them for a very, very long time. I'm a big Kingdom guy. Roderick teams up with the Kingdom. MJF and Cole stick together. Richard Holiday. Yeah, and he was backstage at a Dynamite or a Collision when they were in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. The last Collision, he was backstage.
I gotta ask about this here. Warren's more passionate about MJF than he is her. Please discuss.
That can't be true.
That's not true.
I
never say you're disgusting to begin with. I never say that.
That is true. My thing is, all right, so here they're going to have this match. That was what was announced last night as well. First official match announced for All In will be MJF versus Adam Cole for the AEW World Championship. I think that is perfect. It's the hottest angle in the company. It's the match, and right now they hugged it out. They did all that stuff where it's, hey, I promised you, no matter what happened, you'd get it. I'm still being a good guy. We're doing it. What I think, if you want to go the route of keeping MJF the babyface, you have them have a great match, which we've already seen in that 30-minute draw. They can, and they probably will again, have a fantastic match at the main event of this show. You have Adam Cole come up short. MJF retains. Very easy way in front of 80,000 people at the end of that match for Adam Cole to then turn on MJF. And then you have All Out. It's like people are saying, because of the CM Punk stuff, that, CM Punk and MJF is going to be All Out. I don't think it should be. I think you save that for a proper build. Full Gear or Revolution, whatever the next one is, Full Gear. You should have Adam Cole and MJF back-to-back weeks as the show, as the main event. I think you have a very good competitive match. Cole comes up just short again, turns on MJF.
Because he's not tall, is what you're saying.
And then he says, let's go all out.
You can either do it at All In right after the match. You can have them have another promo, Dynamite on the way to all, whatever. But you have Adam Cole come up short to the championship. He gets frustrated. He then turns on MJF, and then you can have the rematch a week later at All Out. Obviously, that would mean most likely Adam Cole would be losing big matches 2 weeks in a row, but I think that would be a way that you could really, like you said, add another level to this. The heel, however it happens, a heel turn, an actual vitriol between these two is it's already hot as hell. That's going to raise it up to the next level of like, oh man, you know what I mean? And I think if the plan is, which it is, it's CM Punk and MJF for the undisputed, I don't know what they're going to do, title versus title, whatever the hell they're going to do with that. Punk's going to be the heel. Whether they portray him that or not, people are going to be rooting for MJF. They're not going to be rooting for CM Punk.
I think that's a perfect way get along and
In DGMC, I agree with you. I've waited a lot. Adam Cole is another one of those guys that can do both very, very well.
Sure. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like top of the card, top of the company type talent on both. But it seems to me, or at least I have the feeling that right now, this is the closest that AEW has come to actually pulling the trigger of trying an MJF actual babyface run. And it's already working with what they're doing. So that's kind of what I think could happen. That'd be cool if you wanted to go the other route of Adam Cole being the one that is going to be the turner here. I think that's a way to automatically you get heat. You have the same match back-to-back weeks. It makes sense because now they're not friends. They're bad, you know. And I think that's a way you could potentially do it. At least I think that would be fun.
The Kingdom wrinkle is super interesting.
I agree with that as well. I saw that and I was like, because Roddy's gonna get involved too at some point. He's backstage last night losing his shit,
busting up
flipping
TVs
out
and stuff. Damn, Roddy, calm down.
Losing it.
And I mean, he could. Because look, Adam Cole was in the Kingdom before, right? That's the thing. It's like the connection is immediate. So you know, why wouldn't Adam Cole go back? Like he could. That made me sort of feel like Adam Cole might be turning, because if the Kingdom's coming back together, like, you know, they're getting, you know, that would be very interesting. Adam Cole with another stable of people around him also makes a lot of sense. You know, it's like, and he's been telling Roddy week after week, I got this. Don't worry. I got this. Don't worry. I got this. You know, you're being too possessive. Leave me do my shit. You know, I don't know.
Quit telling me, Roddy. Damn.
Yeah.
Roddy,
boundaries.
stop.
No, man, that was my favorite. Roddy, boundaries.
Boundaries. Oh God, I thought that was
boundaries.
funny. That was funny as hell.
I was like, all right. But it's a very intriguing story, and it has been all summer. And I was there for the dance-off. I was there for the double clothesline. That place came unglued.
I know.
When
Yeah,
they hit
it's
that
crazy,
double
right?
clothesline. Like, people literally leapt out of their seats. It was
Never
like, holy
end
shit.
the story.
You would have thought Hulk
ever.
Hogan beat the Iron Sheik for the world title. That's what you would have
Go
thought.
their
It was just
separate
like,
ways amicably. Don't just go, you know, don't have a good match at All In and just walk away and always be friends forever. That's
you
what I
could.
want.
I don't foresee that happening.
And
but,
I'm not
I mean,
kidding. I said it on this program. I want at MJF's Hall of Fame speech, Adam Cole to be the one that gives him the, you know, the pre-speech. I want them to be friends for. I want MJF to never hurt a hair on Adam Cole's head.
You know,
because they're such good friends. The devil needs his friend too. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
we all need that one.
But you could also play it off as one of these things where, like, so the story is that Adam Cole has made MJF change how he thinks about everything, right? Because he's never had a friend before. He never had somebody who he felt like was in his corner or really loved him and supported him.
What,
and Adam Cole's been that guy.
Lana storyline, DGMC.
What?
With remember?
What the fuck?
Remember that story like
Bobby
Rusev
Lashley? What are we talking about this?
Not Lashley. What was his name? The singer. Damn.
What?
Matthew Riddle on Impact. What was his name? The vaudevillain guy. And he was
Matthew
like
Raybould?
Yes. But what was his name in WWE?
Rusev Day.
Yeah, Rusev Day. He would come out and sing, but he went like Lana's, like he was in Lana's like hotel room hitting on her, and she's like, Rusev will kill you. So yeah, maybe
how the hell did we get this? How the
So
hell did
who's
we?
Lana?
Because DGMC that
Who's Lana in the story?
Yeah, well, he said, you know, wait till somebody leaks MJF's DMs to Britt, and I said, oh, we're gonna get that little like that love angle. I'm showing respect to our fans in the chat.
No, it's all right.
guys.
I got it. I got it.
Billy Vanilla, Ice Usher, yes, Neil Young.
That's been
Neil
the whole
Young.
story, right? That's been the whole story, right? So you could also play into it that, yes, if Adam Cole is the one that turns, MJF becomes the, you know, this mega baby face and sympathy and stuff like that. But that could also make MJF then potentially get as dark as he's ever got, because he's had this guy that's kind of changed his mental, how he views things, because he has this friend, Aiden English, Drew coming in clutch.
Thank you.
Drew coming in clutch,
Man.
Aiden English.
I knew it was something
So
like that.
MJF is like changed how he fundamentally thinks, or at least that's what he's portraying, because he has this friend and this supporter now. And then if that friend or supporter were to turn on him, that could also, instead of MJF maybe going full-fledged babyface after that, that could also make MJF go even darker than he was before, because the one guy that he believed enough to change the way he thought about things turned his back on him. Yeah. And that might make him even go, you know what I'm saying?
By the way,
that makes sense.
Drew says he deep dived into his brain for that. What's it like having a deep end of your brain? I only got the shallow end.
We can tell every week.
Every week.
I'm kidding, Pluggo. I love you. But so again,
there's so many. I said it 1,000 times. Like, there's so many ways they could go with this. I don't think any of them is going to be wrong. It's very entertaining, which is what you want. So let's go. Saddle up. I mean, I'm sure Warren's biting his lip. Like, yeah, there could be some wrong that happens. Sure, but you get what I'm saying. There's options. They got options. That would be okay. Of course, there's catastrophes. Like if they book Goldberg in a triple threat here, yeah, that could be a problem. But, let's hope that doesn't happen. It's going to happen. How pissed are you going to be? You better be recording your reaction when it happens.
That might be, that'd be some pretty good content, come to think of it.
It would. One last AEW tidbit that I wanted to chat about before we kind of move on.
Tidbit is a for exposure exclusive.
Is it to the SummerSlam side of things? But on Dynamite last night, I thought that vignette that they with Swerve
that was
and
a
Nick
movie,
Wayne,
bro. That was a motion picture.
That was remarkable.
That was fantastic.
That was real good stuff. I think it was like super villain type stuff from Swerve. And I love AR Fox. I loved it when it happened. I love it even more now. He fits perfectly. He's like that badass that's just going to be Swerve's right-hand man, doing all the dirty work for Swerve. But that was like some next level stuff. Go to Nick Wayne's house, talking about, I've never been to the Wayne, whatever. Breaks
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, yeah. Breaks the photo of him and his dad over Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne is laid in a blood, look like a horror movie.
It's all great.
Yeah,
it's all great. And he said, and he grabs the phone, call Darby.
Yeah.
Oh, the face gimmick's not working because of all the blood, and he smears it all over his face. It's just outstanding stuff.
No, you shut the hell up, Darby.
And then, and there you go. You got Drew saying his favorite segment last night. He's watched it 5 times. You got Mike saying that was some slasher movie blood.
I will say this too, like
Hab guy saying he's liking Swerve more and more as this goes on.
Hell yeah, it was super good and it was great. And I just there's the small part of me that like as soon as like AR Fox really sinks his teeth into this, I think it's going to be next level because like you could see it kind of peeking out, and you're like, he's got more to him, and I think there's going to be more passion behind him in some of these promos if they keep going this direction, and it's just going to be awesome. This is much better than whatever face tattoo guy. And,
imagine if we were still with fucking Trench,
Parker Bordeaux,
and Parker Bordeaux.
Huge upgrade for Swerve when it comes to the Mogul Embassy.
Fun fact, he follows me on Twitter, so I probably lost it after this one. Sorry, Parker, but it just wasn't working, bro.
It's okay. It's okay. But I thought, and we talked about this a little bit off air for the few minutes that we were waiting to get on. But like, I speak to this as someone who has lost his dad. The line when Swerve takes the picture and he shows the camera and he goes, "Oh, look at this nice picture. I'm going to put this here, right here, where you found out that your dad wasn't with you anymore." Holy shit, Swerve.
It's perfect.
My God.
It's perfect.
Jesus.
Look, I have been on the Swerve Strickland train for a long time. I don't know if anyone remembers him from Lucha Underground. I can't remember his name it was Kill Shot. I had Death Clock in my head, but that's a whole other thing. I knew it wasn't that. But I like from that, like that guy just has it. He has the thing. He's got it. Look, you look at it, right? Look at his time in WWE. They do the hit row thing. He's fine on his solo thing, but they do the hit row thing. He's got his group around him, and he's the crown jewel. And you're like, this fucking rules. Look, they try to bring back hit row, and it fucking sucks because Swerve is not around. No, let's be honest. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not. It's not even remotely good. And he because Swerve is not there. And Tony, from what I've heard, he likes Swerve a lot, and he's always wanted to to find the right moment for him, and I think we have it now. But this guy is, his ceiling is world champion. I
think his ceiling is unlimited, like face of the company.
I will stand by that.
Crazy.
When they were talking about Cody Rhodes, when Cody left, and they were like, oh, what if AEW wants another reality show? What are they going to do? Just give it to Swerve. Give it to Swerve, hanging out with his hip hop buddies, just doing his thing. And you know what? You're going to attract a whole other demographic than 100%. With Cody and Brandy. Let me tell you what.
He was part of XL or Double XL's freshman rapper class of 2023 or 2024.
He goes to like the award shows. He goes to the Grant. Like, he's in that world. And now he just had his first movie role like last week that there's been some clip. Like, he's that world.
Super charismatic, super chill.
He's
do it
insane.
All.
He's got everything you want. Everything you want. And like Warren said, he can bring in a whole new demographic of an audience that will. How can you not want him to do that?
It's insane. And what right now, like, we're all, yes, MJF, Cole is hot, but I'll be damned if Darby Swerve right now is not being built perfectly. Like, from the Nick Wayne debut up until this point, there has been a plan here, and it is clear. And I love the idea that Prince Nana was filming all of this, on top of it all.
Yep.
Everything just clicked and worked. This is the kind of vignette that I get into in pro wrestling because it stays grounded. We're not doing, hidden camera stuff. We're not doing, oh, Chinese food is so spicy bullshit. None of that stuff. Yep. We're doing things that are still grounded and are advancing the angle, advancing characters, creating story bumps, creating the energy for this feud to move forward. If anything right now, I'm forgetting Darby has a TNT title shot lined up. It's like, at this point, I don't give a shit. This rules so much. It's awesome.
I agree. And
that blood that Nick Wayne got.
My God.
Nick Wayne can't even drink yet, and he's running the razor for this company without a second thought.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the way that last camera shot of them just kind of turning it back, and he's just...
what a bunch of geeks he's training with, too. Yeah. What a bunch of geeks he's training with, too. They come in, and there's like 3 or 4 of them, and they get tossed out, and they're no help. What are they doing throughout all of this? Tell them to hit the bricks, Nick. They're out of here, these bunch of geeks. What are we doing?
More stuff like that.
By the way, Lawrence, what's up, brother? He's in the house.
Yeah, Lawrence saying he's a Prince Nana guy. He's saying he's a Prince Nana.
Prince Nana's so good.
Yeah.
But for real, ever since they ditched this nonsense with Trench and Parker Boudreaux, they got to go to the PC for that. Ever since they ditched the 2 other schmucks, all of this has been great. Mogul Embassy has been fantastic. Nana's been fantastic. Everyone is shining through this. Even fucking Gates of Agony. Yep. They were on Dynamite for a couple of weeks, and you're like, Jesus Christ, these dudes are just like, they're monsters, complete monsters. Everything about this is what I love about pro wrestling. Like, this is right in my wheelhouse. You're having all sorts of dudes, top guys who are elevating lower guys, but they're not becoming superstars. Everyone has their role, and everyone is doing it great. Everyone is doing wonderfully. You've got the superstars. You're creating baby faces. You're creating sympathy. Without having 17-minute promos or this is your life segments or the trial of Darby Allin or all this bullshit. That's pro wrestling to me. This is what pro wrestling is. Yeah. It's simple. It's well done, well crafted with talented people. That's all you need.
This is our second warning for Mike from Indeed saying, please respect the Doodle Bear.
What's a Doodle Bear?
I'm assuming Trench, as we've talked twice. He's now warned us twice.
Wait, I need to know. Time out. Before we continue. Is that what that's for? Is Doodle Bear Trench?
Yes.
I need to know. That's right. That's right. What a fucking.
Because when I dogged him earlier,
I am never referring to him. I don't know how many times we'll ever talk
I've
about
never
that guy
seen
ever
Lauren
again.
get so red.
I don't know. Respected.
That's
Lauren
so
got the
funny
color.
because that's what he is. He's a walking mandala, that you color in. It's Doodle Bear. That's fantastic.
That's great. That is really next level. That is next level shit, Mike. Good for you. The Doodle Bear. Oh,
We only have next level shit on this program.
That is true. But you can get so much out of this too. Like you can get a tag match. You can do Swerve and AR Fox versus Darby and Nick Wayne. You can do Nick Wayne versus AR. There's so much shit you can get out of this that, I mean, obviously it's going to be Darby and Swerve. That's the end game here. But we've seen it. But you can. There's just so much.
Oh, there's lots of combos. You can do tag teams. You can do multi-man. Like I said, you could bring Brian Cage into this.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Get Sting.
You can bring the Gates of Agony into this. You can bring Brian Cage into this.
Yeah.
Darby can go bring back Orange Cassidy. Like let's get a whole bunch of wrestlers from the Pacific Northwest together. Let's go. All of this is great. Honestly, all of this has been fantastic, and Swerve is perfect. He's perfect in this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I would agree.
No notes.
All right. So before we transition over
to
our SummerSlam preview, before we get out of here, let's pay some bills real quick.
Do we have to bring Brian Cage into this?
Oh yeah, Kristen is asking, do we have to?
I think you were just saying that the option is on the table. It's like a buffet.
And then DGMC saying bring Surfer Sting into this. That's California though, right? That's not dark brooding.
Well, I mean, there's surf on the Pacific Northwest.
Jace.
Jeff Farmerston.
No, we don't. Nobody wants Jeff Farmerston. He might be a splendid guy. I don't know, but I don't think anybody wants Jeff Farmerston. But all right, we're gonna pay some bills real quick, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about SummerSlam.
We're gonna regroup
and continue this fun because this has been a hell of a time this evening so far. It's been a good one. It's been a good one. They always are, but this has been. But I want to talk to you guys about our friends at BetStamp. They are our newest brand partner, and today's podcast has been brought to you by the BetStamp app, which is helping thousands of people win in sports betting for free. The same way travelers use Google Flights or Expedia to find the best prices, bettors can now use BetStamp to do the same. When you place a bet, the odds given by a sportsbook will determine how much you can possibly win. Even when betting on the same outcome, different sportsbooks will offer varying payouts, and these differences can be huge. Thankfully, BetStamp allows you to easily line shop for the most profitable odds across all sportsbooks. You can click on any matchup and instantly see all the different odds for game lines, player props, and even future bets. Line shopping is the simplest way to find an edge in sports betting and maximize your chances of winning long term. On average, BetStamp users win an extra $1,000 plus yearly just by line shopping. You can find the BetStamp app on the Apple Store, your Google Play Store, or through your browser at www.betstamp.app, www.betstamp.app. To access all these benefits, sign up using the promo code you see right in the middle of your screen right there, Love Wrestling, and you can start your journey to successful sports betting today. If you forget to use the code upon sign up, do not worry. You can always enter our code in your BetStamp account settings afterwards. So please go check out our friends at BetStamp on the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, or at www.betstamp.app. Boom.
Pro. Disgustingly good at that, as MJF is disgustingly good at professional wrestling.
All right. Now the fun's over. We got to talk about WWE. So, all right, here we go.
But don't forget to smash that like button, fam. We don't want to be getting fired. Plus, I need to share.
Everyone stick around. Don't leave.
Yeah, everyone stay around. We're going to have very fun discourse about WWE just like we did about AEW.
Guys, I wonder.
Two Beers brand. We brought on the casual WWE fan.
Exactly. The target audience. I'm the target audience. I'm just wondering if WWE SummerSlam will be able to hit the highs of NXT Great American Bash from this past weekend because wow, what a show!
Hey, it happened. Yeah, we have
Weapons wild, boys. Weapons are so wild.
I'm going to be honest with you. I turned it on, and I only saw the women's title match and the main event. That's all I saw.
I saw Thea Hale struggling in pain, even as Tiffany Stratton was dropping the hold. I'm like, come on, people.
And she tapped out, and Thea let go, and I was just confused. Like, I don't think they knew the rules of the match. It was. But
here's look. This is what I said on my review. Okay, I don't know who had the brilliant idea to let two-year rookies go for a submission match, which is one of the most boring match stipulations that exist out there. Look, Bret Hart and Bob Backlund couldn't make it happen. They couldn't make that interesting, okay? And it takes a certain type of magician to make this even remotely interesting. When's the last time you saw a great submissions only match? Like one where you're like, oh yeah, fucking match of the year kind of things. Yeah. It's been a while. And this was setting those girls up for failure. This is the issue that I have with it. Like, how do you expect either of them to have the know-how, the savvy to build up a 12 to 15 minute match? I don't remember the length. Yeah, where submissions only, so they're trading holds. That's what you expect, but that's not what we got. And then when we do get to the final submission, Stratton can't even hold it. She can't even hold the Boston Crab. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, we're just setting these people up for failure, and that's not right. You know, regardless of their experience level and whether or not they're good enough to begin with. It just don't do this. Don't do this. Yeah, that's
Noob
ridiculous.
In the house. What's good, Noob? Said a terrible submission. Really said book the women better. Damn right.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I love or even like the NXT product that much, but I understand. I see a future in Tiffany Stratton with more time. She's a star. Looks the part. Can talk. I see everything they would want in a main event star in Tiffany Stratton. Thea Hale is 19 years old. Or something.
She's ridiculous. A little off-putting. I don't know. There's something off-putting.
I love it.
But
I think it comes across as like I don't know. I flipped it on with someone who was a non-wrestling fan, and they saw Tiffany Stratton, and it was a female. They saw Tiffany Stratton, and they were like,
"Oh, Tiffany's great."
Yeah, they were like, "I get it." And they saw Thea Hale, and the first thing they said to me was, "Yeah, she seems like she's faking it here. This is not real." And I was like, "All right, yeah, well, And I think that's maybe it. It's just like a little too inauthentic, maybe. It's really over the top-ish, you know?
For World Wrestling Entertainment, Tiffany checks all the boxes.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Look, we got to just be honest with each other. She's got a lot of work to do, but she's got the fundamentals. She likes pro wrestling. She said it herself. I watch tape, and, she's doing... she goes away on injury. She comes back. Next thing you know, she's doing Christopher Daniels' moonsault, right? So you're like, yeah, she's watching tape. Yep. You know what I mean? Like she's putting things together. And those pre-tapes that they cut with her, where she was hyping up her match. I'm like, this woman, like, she's great. She talks great. Mm-hmm. She's got a presence. She's charismatic as hell. They have everything. I'm sure they're going like this and wait till Charlotte goes away, kind of thing. Yeah. She's going to be fine there,
wait till Charlotte buries her.
We'll see. Come on. All right. So this Saturday night, we have the biggest party of the summer, baby. We got Summerslam happening from Detroit, Michigan. Room.
Kid Rock's going to be there, motherfucker.
Yeah, Kid Rock. Is he?
Is Kid Rock really going to be there?
True?
Yes.
So we can't get Becky Lynch.
He's part of the opening segment.
Cool. So Becky Lynch and Trish they wouldn't have enough time on this fucking card, but we can have Kid Rock on there.
Baby.
Cool.
Let's go.
But we'll get, noted bigot Kid Rock on the show.
WWE Hall of Famer, is he? Right? Isn't he?
Yes,
Am I crazy about that? He is, right?
He's a Hall of Famer.
Great. Anyway, all right, so why don't we start
Last time he was on SummerSlam, he was making out with that, what's her name?
Yes!
I remember that. Yeah. I remember that.
Yes. I'm sure the sponsors were thrilled.
Oh, my God.
He laid things to, he goes, watch this, and she didn't really look like she was like, knew what was going on. No. He just goes for it, and I was just like, was that supposed to happen? That was awkward for all of us, baby.
All right, so this is an 8-match card as of right now, but a lot of the talk this week has been about a certain, and I just mentioned it, but it has been about a certain match.
Are you
that
watering
everyone,
plants?
No, he's
I'm
pouring
watering myself. I have a glass. I'm staying hydrated.
Do you not remember? I think one of the first times we ever had Warren on here, he gave us a whole lecture on why we should stay hydrated. That's
8 ounces, 8 times a day.
Yeah, there you go.
But
a lot of the chatter this week has been about a certain match that everyone thought was gonna be on this SummerSlam card. That is now not on this SummerSlam card, and that is Becky Lynch against Trish Stratus. Report came out from Fightful earlier today that said that at first they thought that maybe one of the competitors was injured, and that's why, but that is not the case at all. Both are healthy. Both were apparently pretty pissed off, as they should be, that they are not on this card. And the reason that was given in that report by Fightful was that if they were to add this match to the show, it would not get the time it deserved.
And I'm going to stop you right there because I saw the same nonsense on the interwebs this week. Thank you to everybody that follows all my social medias and interacts with me. You're all genuinely nice people. But that's bullshit because guess what? They booked the show.
Bullshit.
Yeah. They booked the show. They decide who gets time.
Yeah. Do you know how to make time on the show? Fucking add the time. That's how you do that. You add the fucking time.
They segment out the show.
Got Kid Rock there fucking doing whatever his nonsense is.
Yeah,
guys.
Kid Rock's like, I'm taking 45 minutes, guys. Suck it. No.
Guys, hang on a second.
Jim Battle Royal on fucking SmackDown.
I gotta stand up for WWE here, fellas. I gotta stand up for WWE.
Someone get the recorder on.
Because listen,
hour 40 mark. Let me write that down.
There's not enough time on the show because we need to make time for the commercials, for the promo packages, for the recaps. Those are crucial to the makeup of the show, and they're all a certain length. They're all a certain length. And you have to keep those in. Those are crucial to the show. You can't add matches and how are the casuals like me going to understand what's happening in a professional wrestling match if I don't get the 6-minute recap? How am I going to understand why Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, who are cousins, family, they're coming to blows in a no disqualification match? How am I going to understand that if I don't have 6 minutes? So thank you, Trish. Thank you, Becky, for sacrificing your match so I can understand a pro wrestling story.
Holy shit. I was gonna say before that, you can't. You need. Now listen, I'm sorry. Now I don't want to see that match because I want to see promo packages because of the passion you just gave, Warren. I was gonna say, what do you think's gonna last longer on the SummerSlam card? The Battle Royal or Roman Reigns' entrance? Which one will be longer?
Oh, that's an easy one. It's Roman's entrance. What are we doing?
Exactly. The timing thing is annoying. I love, like I said.
Mike said he's crying.
I'm
crying. Oh.
I've thought about this. I've thought about this whole thing, and legitimately, as you guys know, I'm not on Twitter anymore, but Twitter still leaks in, in my haunts and in my Discord and so on. So everyone's talking about this. So I legitimately asked my Discord. I was like, okay, guys. Tell me, okay, was Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus announced and then removed, or was this just an expectation? Okay,
expectation.
I think it was expectation.
And people told me and then everyone said it's an expectation, Warren. I was like,
we gotta drag it out to SummerSlam. You can't do it at a throwaway show. It's got to be dragged out to SummerSlam.
So I'm like, okay. So who cares? Like, honestly, at this point, it's like, okay, well, now it's headcanon that people are creating for themselves. They're making themselves angry. So right then and there, I'm not as interested in the whole story. So, but then I think about it a little more, and I'm like, okay, they're doing this on a Raw on August 14th, something to that effect, in Winnipeg, Manitoba, if I'm not mistaken.
And
So I'm like, oh, well, they're doing this because Trish is Canadian and they want to sell tickets. That's probably it. So I go on WrestleTix and I check out, there's about 800 tickets left. I'm like, okay, well, that's not it either. Like, it's not a good enough. It's not because they need a marquee match to sell more tickets. So, Warren, why are they doing this? Why are they doing it? And then when I was getting my notes together and putting everything together, I'm like, do you want to bet? And I'm willing to bet 10 Canadian rubber bucks that they had to make time for a sponsored match on the show. That the Slim Jim Battle Royal was put on there because they needed to stack a sponsorship on it.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that's what it is. And maybe the sponsors were like, nah, we don't want to sponsor a women's match. It could be. Or WWE pulled it and said, no, we can't sponsor this because it's a big story. Okay, well, what can you sponsor? Oh, this nothing match here. Okay. Do you want to bet?
And it's to get, and everyone is assuming that that's actually a really good point, Warren. But because I've heard most of the rhetoric about, they're like, oh, and people are like,
I heard somebody say that this shit would get lost in the shuffle.
That match isn't on, so they can get LA Knight over and get his moment on SummerSlam. LA Knight should get his moment at Summer. What the fuck's wrong with that? First of all, second of all, guy's over as hell. Let him have a moment on SummerSlam. There's no reason.
They're gonna give him.
Here's the kid. I didn't even know Kid Rock was gonna be there until Pluggo said they're gonna do the fucking Kid Rock thing. Musical performance. You can make time.
It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, where they're just gonna have one guy win and then say, "Look, you're the guy you like won the match. Everyone, wee," and then. Move on, but it's inconsequential. He's got it's not worth anything. It's not promising him. Like, there's no stakes to this match, right? There's no stipulation. There's no title match at the end. I've seen people say, people have told me, well, I think it's going to lead to a U.S. title match. Okay, is that the stipulation? No. Okay, well then no. There's no stipulation to the fucking match.
You know what could have led to a U.S. title match for LA Knight? Have him win the fucking tournament to get a title shot.
That guy gets it over there. High five.
Easy. That's how you can get LA Knight a U.S. title shot. By having him win the tournament.
You can't let people get too hot.
Nowhere.
You can't let people get too hot. But I'm convinced, fellas. I'm convinced. I'm convinced it's a sponsor. I think it's a sponsorship match. I think that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
And I don't think but my thing is this: they just put out this list like 2 years ago, 50 greatest females in wrestling, WWE wrestling history in the modern era. And Trish was 1 and Becky was 3. So by your own admission, you're 2 of your top 3 women's wrestlers of all time. And you're telling me you couldn't figure out a way. This would never happen to like Hogan and Austin or Rock. It would never happen. You can figure it out. You drug it out to SummerSlam for a reason.
We need to put you on Raw in 2 weeks. You can't be on this Mania count. We don't have enough time for you.
I don't disagree with you.
SmackDown next week.
Look at the situation here. Otherwise, what are the other women's matches you have here?
They did Dom and Mysterio as the Cinnamon Toast Crunch match. They could have done Becky and Trish, Slim Jim in your face match on a pole or something.
See, that's kind of weird what you just said there, and I don't think it'd work.
Slim Jim, snap it to us, snap your neck, snap a Slim, whatever they say for Slim Jim. I don't know. I don't mean it that way.
Look at the other women's matches we have on SummerSlam. There's one that you cannot get rid of because Ronda Rousey is done after SummerSlam, right? So she has to be on this so that, you can't bump her, right? You have the triple threat, right? There's Charlotte in it. Charlotte's the golden girl. They're always going to push Charlotte over anyone else. So don't even question that one. Like, that one stays. So those are the other 2 women's matches. Otherwise, what else do you bump off here, right? Like, everything, like, I don't care about Seth Rollins and Finn Balor personally. I think that could be one that
we've already seen it. It's already
a million times.
Yeah, Don't get me wrong. I like both guys. Both guys
pre-show are great. Pre-show the Battle Royal. Problem solved.
Yeah. Why not? Why not pre-show the Battle Royal and then add? What are we doing?
Honestly, look, there is no reason for this to not be on because they own the show, they run the show, but they have to get all their commercials in. And I was doing a bit with the pre-tapes, but it's all true. It's all true. You watch a WWE pay-per-view
and 10 minutes of vignettes for half of these matches.
and entrances and so on and so forth. You fast forward through those, you shave off easily 45 minutes off the show, if not more.
And 20 of those could have been given to Trish and Becky. And it makes no damn sense. It makes no damn sense.
I will go on the record and say I don't know if Kid Rock's having an actual concert. I just heard he's going to be part of the opening segment. So it might be one of those like, hey, Detroit, ready for
what would be a good opening segment of SummerSlam? A match. Anyway, so just saying.
Stop. You're asking too much, JPJ.
I know. I'm thinking outside the box, guys.
So we talked in depth about the matches that aren't on the card.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, let's talk about the matches on.
Let's talk about the matches now.
We obviously talked about the Battle Royal.
We've stalled long enough for him.
I think we're all assuming LA Knight is what that's there for, the sponsorship. And LA Knight.
Hang on.
Yeah.
We're all expecting LA Knight to win, right?
I would think so, yes.
So The Miz is going to win.
Probably.
Yes. Or Detroit Pistons legend Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Who's
right
from
now,
Detroit? Is there anyone from Detroit coming into the Battle Royal?
No, not that I'm
because they're losing.
As of right now, the
Barry Sanders.
The only confirmed participants are LA Knight, Sheamus, Tommaso Ciampa, Shinsuke Nakamura, Chad Gable, and Otis. Those are the only confirmed participants at this very moment. So it's Anyway, all right. So on this card, we have
Dennis Rodman. Hell yeah, DG.
Yeah, I know.
I would die.
Let's dive
I
in
love Dennis Rodman.
You had just mentioned Warren Ronda Rousey. So she is going against her longtime ex-friend, I guess, Shayna Baszler, and they are having a straight-up MMA rules match. I would have liked, which is
first one ever.
Yeah, first one ever. I thought the Fight Pit would have been pretty good for these two as well, but this is a very similar MMA style, which makes sense. They're both former MMA wrestlers. I actually thought on Raw, Ronda Rousey actually wasn't that bad. I actually thought that was the best she had been in a while with what she did on Raw. But nonetheless, this is happening because of what Warren said. Ronda is basically like, yeah, I'm done with this. Because I think ideally in a perfect world, they wanted this to be at WrestleMania. And Ronda was like, yeah, I'm not making it to WrestleMania. I'm done after this. So
I think they wanted it for WrestleMania this year, but she was hurt.
Year maybe, but
she was hurt.
That makes sense. Yeah, because obviously her contract is expired.
Because they did the whole tag title thing so that then they'd split up. That
makes sense. I mean, with Ronda leaving, she's going to be putting over Shayna here, I would assume, making Shayna look like a big deal moving forward. Hopefully, you never know. Ronda could get
you leave the territory, you put someone over. That's
usually the rules.
That's what you do.
I just fear that after this, Shayna's going to go back down, and they're going to forget about it again.
I hope not. But
there's a lot to look. There's so much in this match that's happening. I have so many levels of analysis. First of all, when is the last time that an MMA rules match was good? They usually stink, in these contexts where it's a shoot fight, but a work. And the most recent one that comes to mind is Jake Hager and Wardlow in AEW. Remember that during the pandemic era, and they even fought in a fucking cage. They fought in an MMA cage, and that blew. It was awful.
It was not good.
It was really not good. I'm thinking Owen Hart, Ken Shamrock. I'm thinking, Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle had one in Impact, but Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle in Impact, everything they did was magic. So it's like, and there's probably Minoru Suzuki. Look, New Japan for 5, 6, 7 years. That was the thing where they were like, we're bringing in MMA guys and wrestlers together and we're doing this thing, and it never worked out. Guys were injured. I think other than Minoru Suzuki, who probably pulled some off somewhere, this shit stinks. This is not, just do a wrestling match. Why does it have to be MMA? What, are they going to start slapping Kimuras on each other for real? Unless it is they're not going to shoot on each other, are they?
Do you think
maybe
if they
shoot?
I don't know. I don't know why you would want to potentially hurt each other.
Shayna? Why would you want to hurt Shayna, who's sticking with the company?
Yeah, she's sticking around.
But this is the same company that gave us the Brawl for All. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That is
Not,
true.
don't put that back into the ether. That'll
know,
be coming up
listen.
next at Survivor Series.
Anyway, straight off when I heard that, I'm like, my expectations are completely in the mud on this one. Second of all, I'm with Pluggo. What is the upward trajectory for our poor Shayna Baszler, the final boss of NXT's women's division?
Yeah.
What is going like?
What
here's
is
the thing.
beating this version of Ronda Rousey really do for her if she wins? But if
what
she
happens
loses,
with her
then
regardless?
Exactly. Do you put her?
What happens to her regardless? And Shayna's what? She's 41.
Yeah,
she's
not like
something
young,
to that
young.
effect.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we have guys in their 40s and they're in their primes. I'm not saying that she's washed. What I'm saying is, what is the long-term prospect? It's a different, I made a joke about Liv Morgan earlier, but Liv Morgan's still in her 20s. There's long-term for her. Shayna, her career is likely closer to the end than the opposite. I'm not saying she's washed. I'm not saying she's wrapping it up, but I'm saying as a prospect, when you're looking at the long term of it all, well, maybe she's not the person that you invest your time into. When you have very young, capable prospects at the same time. Like if they actually had an actual shoot fight, I'd be like, okay, let's go. I'm fine with this. But this will probably be a work shoot nonsense, and I don't know what they do with Shayna after. I don't think they know what to do with Shayna. And regardless of how much you want to hammer that Triple H is in complete control of creative, Vince doesn't get Shayna. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't like the catch wrestling thing. She's not cute. She doesn't wear pretty makeup. So he doesn't know what to do with her. He just does, and he just doesn't know what to do with her. So these are all strikes against her. But I think the main talking points, just to finish it off, is how Ronda Rousey is leaving on such a low note.
True.
As strong as she came in 2018.
Yeah, that whole
right?
first year.
Tremendous, and she was very like
fun
you know
fact.
how WWE,
she was number 9 on that list I mentioned earlier with Becky and Trish. She was number 9. That's how high they thought of her.
Yeah. You know how WWE, to their credit, they got her when she was hot. WWE sometimes they'll miss the boat by a couple of years and they'll bring in someone who was hot, a couple of years ago, and then but they got her when she was hot, and it was a big deal. And we all remember that WrestleMania match, her debut in the mixed man tag match. That was awesome. It was one of the best matches of the very dismal WrestleMania, very mediocre WrestleMania that year. And she had some very good performances. Then she goes out, she has her baby, she comes back, and she is a shell of who she used to be. Complete and utter disinterest. She's not there. She's not delivering in the ring. She has no presence. She's checked out. She was a star with a capital S for that company, and now she's leaving as just one of the girls. She's just another one on the roster, and that is really weird. But also, what are you going to do? It is what it is. She's not leaving on the high note that you like in 2018. If you would have seen this scenario, it'd be like someone would have told you the scenario, it'd be like impossissible. She's too big. She's too huge.
It's true. It's true. It's just crazy. Yeah, it is crazy when you think of how she was presented that first year. It would just be like, I mean, I would assume
Shayna. It has to be Shayna.
Yeah, it has to be. Okay. Crazy. All right, we then have a one-on-one singles match. We have Logan Paul. I think he was number 10 on that 30.
He was.
No.
He was number 10.
He was number 10.
He was number 10. Hashtag
that's all you need to know. Fucking lists.
He was 10. Dom was 5.
Dom was 5. He was 10. Right after Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan was 9. Logan Paul right in there. Right after
I
Liv.
saw that initially, and I thought I can argument that if he were to dive into this maybe full time, he would be, because he's so good at it now, that it would be But I just don't think he's going to long.
No. You don't put him. You can put him on the list, but not in the top 10. What are you even doing? This is nonsense. Absolute putrid, stupid, imbecilic nonsense.
ESPN's really getting in there with their wrestling coverage. They
and here I was because I saw the women. Like people were telling me, "Oh, these are the women that are on," and they're throwing in Saya Kimatani on there. I'm like, wow, Saya, really? Okay, so
Jordan
this person,
is like 24.
The person that does the list obviously needs to know some things if they're,
or at least he called around and was like, "Hey, name me a good Japanese female wrestler." Saya Kimatani. Okay, thank you. 15 or whatever she was. Because look, if you put Saya in there, and I'm like, ooh, impressive, but then you add in Logan Paul at number 9, you've disqualified yourself. I'm sorry.
Vikingo was in there. I think it's 7, maybe.
He was.
Before we go on, programming alert. The ROH reacts that we usually have on Twitch. They're under the weather today, so we're not going to have that. So you're going to get us for a little bit more.
Yeah, you're going to get a little extra of beers as we finish our SummerSlam talk.
Only because we yelled a lot today.
Yes. They're feeling a little under the weather this weekend, so we
just hang out with us for a little
They'll
longer.
be back next week for some more Ring of Honor coverage here on Love Wrestling. But Logan Paul is taking on Ricochet. I feel listen. The match to
biggest moment in Ricochet's career.
Yes, and I feel
tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. And as somebody who I would consider myself a fan of Ricochet. I think he is very special in the ring when you see
Why?
Not for anything that WWE has done.
Okay.
Maybe the old NXT Ricochet, the black and gold NXT Ricochet. And independent. But I like Ricochet in general. He does shit in the ring that he's good. I feel happy for him that he's getting a match that is going to have eyeballs on it. And, a solo match at SummerSlam, he wasn't getting those before.
But he wasn't getting booked on the pay-per-views when he was Intercontinental Champion.
No, he was not.
Yeah.
It was so bad when he was Intercontinental Champion, people forgot he was Intercontinental Champion. That's how
who was one of those? Me, because I completely forgot about that until Warren just said it. So he's going against Logan Paul. Wow.
His biggest moment was breaking up Tessa.
Wow.
There's my girl. Smartest thing he's ever done.
Yeah. I'm assuming Logan Paul is going to be the victor here. That makes all the sense. Just because he's Logan Paul and Ricochet is Ricochet, unfortunately.
Well, they have to heat Logan Paul back up, JPJ. He's been losing matches. He lost to Seth. He lost to Roman, right?
Yep.
He was eliminated from the Royal Rumble. He didn't win the thing, the Money in the Bank thing.
Yep.
Oh, our boy, his record is in the mud right now.
It is.
Yep. And I heard this is going on first because he wants to get out of there.
He needs to fly out to his brother is boxing.
So we're going to do this first. This is going to set the tone.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Kid Rock. We're going to go from Kid Rock to Logan Paul, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Problematic beginning. All right, anyway, but yes.
Can only go up from here, fam.
Yes. Do I think they're going to have a spot or two that it's going to be whoa, huge spot with these two guys? Whoop, yep. Yes, I'm sure. But I'm not expecting much from this match. I think Logan Paul wins, and we kind of, that's the end of this.
So what are the odds that Ricochet is sending Logan Paul some of his old matches that he had with Will Ospreay in 2015? And they're like, hey, can you do this?
Can we do this?
Hey, can you do this? Can you do this?
Yeah. You want to piss some people off? Can you do this? Oh, we got Mike saying Daniel Garcia should be the number 1 in the 30. Well, MJF was. I mean, that's fair. MJF number 1 is fair.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia wasn't in the top 10.
If I'm Logan Paul, you definitely should be watching those matches. I don't think he can pull off all of that stuff, but I think he'll pick some of it for sure. He'd be crazy not to.
Yeah.
My real question is, over under how many Prime bottles do you think we'll see? I'll set the bar at 2.5.
4. Oh,
whatever it is.
GMC is asking another super chat. Thank you, friend. Quickly, what is the name of Wheeler Yuta's finish?
Kristen knows.
Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't use it that often.
Oh, Mike comes in and says
It's
seat belt.
It's seat belt. I was going to say yes, correct. Now I get it. They're doing the meme. Okay, they're doing a Discord meme. They're doing a Discord meme. I get it now. Okay, got it.
Anything to? I mean, I'm trying to get through the match until we get to like.
But there's nothing. I don't think there's anything more to.
This is just going to be a headline grabber.
You got a bruise over there, Warren?
I got a bruise there.
Oh god.
Where'd I get this? And what a weird place for a bruise.
One of those plants to swipe it.
Those plants, or was that Uso Roman Reigns rant? That's getting clipped.
The only thing I've learned today is that Warren really loves video packages.
As much as he loves contract signings.
Oh, God, we're right up there. We're right up there.
Anything to add, Pluggo, about Ricochet and Logan
No, I
Paul
think it's gonna. Like you said, it's gonna be a bit of a spot fest, and that is what it is. Start to show off hot.
Yep. All right.
Logan's winning, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. We then have Gunther, which I think this will be one of. This potentially could be match of the night if they let them do what they can do. Gunther will be defending the Intercontinental Championship against Drew McIntyre. They were part of a triple threat match at Mania with Sheamus. Ruled. One of the best matches of that whole show. Incredible. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting this to be one of the best matches of it's the match I'm looking forward to the most, to be honest with you, on this whole show. I love everything. For as much as we bitch and yell about WWE, I love what they're doing with Gunther. I think they haven't missed a beat with him, really.
I'm surprised, actually.
I am too. It's been so good. Eventually, I would think he's gonna. I expect him to break the record. He's going to be the longest reigning IC champion of all time. Like,
you think he's going to beat Honky Tonk Man?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
You think so?
I think he's the guy. The guy. But I think by next year's WrestleMania, he needs to be in a world. He needs to win the Rumble and be in the world title. I don't know what the timeline is and how that works of when.
But we have to finish the story first, though, right? Isn't that?
I think
it's a never-ending story.
Listen. First of all, what they need to do first and foremost is get a new fucking belt, because that belt is atrocious.
The golden girls one.
I can't. I can't. Give me an Intercontinental Championship.
How
belt that
bad do you think Vince is sitting in the back and creative, wanting to do goofy shit with Gunther?
And Triple H is like,
put a funny hat on him, make him dance. And Triple H is like,
make him eat strudel. Yeah. He's from Germany. Have him eat strudel. He's not from Germany. Have him eat strudel. It's funny.
And Triple H, that's why he had spinal surgeries, because Triple H is like, no, you stay away.
Yeah, you stay away from Gunther. Do whatever the hell you want. You stay away from this gentleman. Yeah, I'm expecting this match to rule, but I am not expecting Drew McIntyre to win the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay.
What does that mean you are? Are you leaning towards Drew?
I kind of think you have to do at this point.
Okay.
Because outside of Gunther, like, what are you doing with Drew? You know, and
I would like Drew to turn heel and go after Seth. That would be something that you don't like. That you don't like Drew as a I think it's been a while.
Scottish psychopath.
I think it's been a while.
Wait, is Gunther's on Raw, right?
They're both on Raw.
So why not have Gunther go after Seth then?
You know what I mean? I'm perfectly, but I think if Gunther,
because I think it's a more interesting matchup then. You know, I
would agree with DGMC that Cody versus a heel Drew would be.
Heel Drew, you guys are weird. What?
Why?
Why would you want to?
You don't think?
He's so lovely.
He is. I love Drew.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
No. He's got a beautiful chest. Just enough stuff.
When he came back, that return, the hair was kind of flowing perfect.
Just leave the sword at home. That's all I'm saying.
But no, look at here. I just think it would be something fresh for Drew. I feel like Drew's been this character for a long time, and I think Raw, besides Gunther, like, they need more top baby face. They got Judgment. I get it, but like
they got
Dominic Mysterio. Yeah. I think another top heel on Raw would be all right.
Don't roll your eyes at me, Warren Hayes.
I'll do what I want.
I think if you wanted a new challenger for Seth, someone fresh.
Gunther?
No, you're right.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think he's.
I couldn't find it, but how close is he to breaking the honky tonk?
Yeah, that's
record?
the thing for me, because
it's not Saturday.
I do think they're going to do that. My thing is, I wanted Drew to come back.
Is that real typing, or did you just?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Wow, that was fancy. I'm like, when I type, I'm like, I don't know how to use keyboard.
So the honky tonk man is at 454 days, right?
Okay.
And our boy Gunther is at 420 days.
Oh, that's
so
not bad. Like another month.
We could give him another month.
So if he
And
wins,
it'd be done.
he wins this match,
The Summerslam payback show.
I feel, and again, even though Drew would be a perfect suitor to be, I feel like it's still. I know they've already done it. I feel like it should still be Sheamus that beats him. It's the only thing. Sheamus hasn't won the IC title ever. They have the old rivalry. I feel like people were really behind Sheamus when they were doing all this, and then they were just like, "Sheamus, get out of here. You're over here now." And it was, yeah. I feel like that's something you can maybe revisit, or if it's somebody else you want to give somebody whatever. I feel like we're at a point now where whoever beats Gunther for that title, it's going to be a pretty decent deal that they do.
Maybe.
So you could,
maybe this was the trade-off. Triple H is like, I'll keep Honky Tonk Man at the top of the IC title reigns if you don't mess with Gunther at all. Vince.
Maybe
that's the deal. You can have it. I don't know. I don't know who's
Mike
winning.
Is saying Sheamus wins it at Survivor Series.
I
That's
like
what Mike
Gunther
is saying.
winning because I don't know. They got to make that transition to Seth at some point. You're right, but I don't know if it's
right now. I kind of like how everything is being booked. Like with Mike adding Sheamus in here at Survivor Series, that the IC title is like the ass kicker title right now.
Yes,
it's just like the meat slapping title, and I'm okay with this. I think it's great. I'm looking. This is one of the very small handful of matches that I'm legitimately looking forward to at SummerSlam this year.
Yeah.
These two guys, because they're just going to wail on each other. And the other thing that I really like, and you'll see with another match I'm really looking forward to, we'll spoil it later, is that Gunther matches break out of the WWE house style. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I think WWE fans get so excited, because his matches feel different from everything else on the card, and they're like, "Whoa, this rules!" But they do rule. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's that extra layer of excitement that comes with the Gunther matches, because they feel so different from everything else, because they don't follow the house style. It's just Walter wailing on people and people wailing back on him, and it fucking rules. Like that's. Yeah. I'm a simple man. I like guys kicking the shit out of each other. I like it.
I agree. So don't I.
Plants, guys kicking the shit out of each other, and Goldberg matches.
Yes, there it is.
No, not Goldberg
matches. All right, so if we had final picks then, are you still leaning Drew McIntyre one?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
I honestly, look, well, we'll get to it later, but Seth is so fucking boring right now. Like, it's boring. This would be such an injection, more so than Drew, because Gunther he's because of this year plus reign that he's had. He's established in the minds of WWE fans. He's a beast that you have to overcome, and they're not trying to fake it with Omos. Like legitimately, he's a contender. He's a big dude. So if Seth hangs on to his title and he's next in line, you're like, oh shit. Like, this is one where you go, interesting.
Seth. Yeah, he can beat Seth.
Plus, just to tie a bow on it too, Drew needs a big win as well. He hasn't seemed to have one in a while.
That is true. Yeah, I was under the impression that when the rumors were coming around that Drew was coming back, I wanted Drew to come back straight as a heel and attack Seth or do something like that.
Why do we want Drew? You guys are weird.
I just want a big
weird.
Look at I want a big.
You guys, he said it. I'm just over here going, okay.
Guys, come on. You go up to Drew and you see him. You go up to Drew McIntyre and you want to do.
He does seem like
you want to wrap your arms around him and let him wrap his strong, muscular arms around you, so he can caress you gently against his large hairy chest and just like rest his head upon yours gently.
I'll probably be like, yeah.
This show's already off the rails. It was like, you think that chest hair is nice and soft, or has it got a little rough?
Oh yes. Oh no. Yes.
You think he conditions?
It's welcoming. Oh, absolutely. He takes care of himself. He's very, very well groomed. Yes. Very, very well groomed. He doesn't have a shaggy beard. No. Nothing. Everything's in place.
Time to kick Warren off the show, or it'll get demonetized.
We're gonna move on. We're
okay with that. That's all I'm bringing here for Beards.
We're gonna move
But
on.
if you don't want us to demonetize, keep throwing them super chats in, everybody.
And Ophelia saying,
Help
yes,
us.
Warren understands me.
See, there you go.
He's a
And there you
handsome
go.
man.
Drew's chest hair is hypoallergenic as well.
On top of it all. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to take no Claritin or Reactin before diving nose first and going.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine motorboating Drew McIntyre? It's just, and it's so soft and smooth.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre's security team is watching this going, if this man ever shows up at a meet and greet, tackle his ass.
I'm being flagged.
More,
This
I can
flags
see
appearing on the
see
video.
Drew just being like, so do you want a picture, an autograph? And you're like, no, I just want to caress the chest, if I may.
Okay.
How
that
much
all right?
is that?
Is this okay, Drew? What I'm doing right now is this okay? Is
I'm
this
still
all right?
not. I'm still not over Doodle Bear.
Best, best
I'm
SummerSlam preview of all time.
I'm still not over. All right, as I'm just not. It's fucking amazing.
Mrs. Pluggo is listening in, going, "What the?"
Hey man, it's one of the best episodes we've ever had. So,
True.
all right, we have a. Which is it not true?
It's
Is it not
true. It's true. Top tier.
Tell me where I'm telling lies.
Tell me
Anyway,
where I'm going.
all right, so we have a
That
singles
Irish
match.
Spring chest hit.
I
just
know.
like, just
A
rubs it
singles
in.
match for the World
Lather
Heavyweight
it.
Championship. We've mentioned it. We've mentioned the participants a few times, but it is Seth Rollins.
It's
defending
speaking of
once
chest
again.
hair, Seth Rollins, your chest
Seth
hair
Rollins
is
has chest
coarse
hair, he
and
does.
gross.
Um,
It's not Drew McIntyre-esque, okay?
which is why Drew
Yeah.
McIntyre should try to kick Seth Rollins' ass and go, hey, get on my level with this chest hair, bro. Get on my level. But we have Finn Balor taking on, once again, Seth Rollins. I don't know why this match is happening because Seth Rollins already beat Finn Balor. But it is happening again. How are we feeling about the rematch? I know Warren has already said he doesn't care about it. Do we think a Damian Priest maybe
I think this
ball
is
teases, cashes in? What do we think this is a big nothing burger? What are we thinking this is?
this is the only really talking point for this match, right? I
is
there's
Damian
nothing-
Priest's involvement potentially?
Yes, and I think I think Finn wins and Damian cashes in.
Oh, on Finn.
Well, aren't they doing that? Isn't the Judgment Day coming apart at the seams? Aren't they?
I think so, but hasn't Damian Priest though said like he didn't guarantee, but he
I don't know,
told
you tell
Finn,
me.
"I'm not going to cash in on you." Is that
Yeah,
something?
but in wrestling, everybody and their they never lie, so he would never be telling lies. JPJ, Marty, Jannetty, and Shawn Michaels were supposed to be together forever, and we just talked about how Jannetty dove through a window to get away from him.
And MJF and Adam Cole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fair.
tell me when I'm telling lies. Anyway, DGMC.
We have
with
yet
another
again
the
another
man,
super chat
the
from
myth, the
DGMC
legend,
coming in hot.
DGMC.
Love it. Saying, should I post that clip in the Discord's wrestling chat channel, the WWE channel, the Modge channel, the Goldberg channel,
Yes.
or all the
Yes.
above?
Yes.
Do whatever you like, DGMC. You are a moderator of my Discord. I am
you go.
sure you will make the right decision.
And then
Please.
Ophelia is saying she agrees with Warren that she thinks Damian will cash in on Finn. So we have Seth losing this title then on
I think so.
Saturday evening.
Everything I was talking about with Gunther is useless at this point. Then I guess with
Well,
Gunther
so-
fighting Seth for the title. But no. I honestly, I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I just don't see why this match would happen again if something
If it didn't have something
weren't
big.
going to happen.
The only
know what I
thing
mean?
the only thing I could see too, the only other option would be that Seth wins, Damian cashes in on Seth, and becomes like the leader of the Judgment Day because of the title. If you wanted to do that, but you might as well just have Finn win it, and I think that tells a better. That's the only other thing I could see. So I'm leaning towards Finn winning as well. Because why do it? You're right. Why do this again? We just saw it.
I had Seth winning in a no-brainer fashion in my brain the whole time. Like, why would Finn win?
Well,
But
that's
that
why
makes sense.
that's what we're here to do. Talking into
My
luscious
thought
chest
process
hair.
was
We don't know. We don't want no whack ass chest hair winning titles. That's what we're
it's
saying.
fair. It's fair. My thought process has always been when Damian Priest was going to cash in, that he would cash in and become a babyface. I feel like he could be you know what I mean? And I think him cashing on Finn would essentially do that, especially if it leads to the demise of the Judgment Day.
Do you think he's going to go back to his split personality that he had
I
for a
hope
while?
not. No, how about we just have this? God. What happened to the? Why did? Yeah. What?
Maybe
did
he'll
that?
grow chest hair and get back in the hot tub. I don't know.
Were you gonna ask why they stopped doing that? Because Vince got fired. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. You should have just.
That's why they
brought him
stopped.
up as, what was he in NXT? The Archer of something.
The Archer of Infamy.
Infamy. Good enough. He had a banger song too. But yeah. And the thing would light up. Yeah. Great song. But anyway, I was originally coming into this thinking that no doubt Seth was going to win, but
we changed your mind.
Yeah, you guys swayed
Join us.
I think you swayed me a little bit.
It's SummerSlam. It's a big show.
Yeah,
you have something big
Why
happen.
else is this match? I know Vince is kind of back, or he was back, and so the rematches were coming back more often than we saw them. But yeah, I don't know why you would have this match again as a marquee match if something wasn't happening.
Hey, where's Riddle? Where's Riddle? What's he up to? Why is he not on the show?
Yeah, Pluggo mentioned.
Are you asking that seriously?
Because of the
news?
Sure.
I had seen they're not.
I don't know if this is true.
They're not
Pluggo
pushing him. His loss on Monday was them pretty much kind of throwing him aside because rumor on the streets was that he's having some personal problems and that he had a little bit of a sex tape leak or something. Don't quote me. I saw it real quick while I was going through things to get ready for the show. So I don't know how true that is, but I guess all of his off the field antics are catching up to him, and people aren't happy about it.
Wait a second. Matt Riddle has personal problems?
And I guess he even
the man out of left field never saw that coming.
And again, I don't know if this is true. I just saw it. I don't know, but I saw that he had tweeted something like, "I'm one of a kind. It's not my business to make anybody else happy, so I'm gonna keep doing me. Truly one of a kind," or something. So like, he's just.
What the hell happened to that guy's brain?
He's just.
You know.
Listen, he's out there.
Away, my friend.
Yeah, he's out there
smoked
doing
it all
his
away.
thing.
All right.
But yeah, the biggest shock of the week was I saw him wearing pants on a Raw recap, and I didn't know Matt Riddle owned pants. So, to even the off the field stuff, as they say in the other sports, is not that surprising. But him in pants was very surprising. He has no chest hair, by the way. He shaves that shit.
I don't even think about him that way.
No, of course not.
Well, now I'm trying to think of other luscious chest hairs in the world of wrestling, and
Moxley.
Thanks a lot.
Moxley has chest hair.
George the Animal Steel.
George the Animal Steel.
But he had like the whole. He didn't have just chest hair. He had all of it.
I know.
It was a sweater.
Who was the guy? Lose yourself.
Who was the guy? I mean, Albert. You want to talk about Albert?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're starting to lose viewers. We got to get back on track here.
No, we still had some. Whoa,
no.
Okay.
Warren thought they'd all left.
Yeah, I thought I'd chased them all away at this point. All right, sweet.
Here we go. I'm assuming Mike, but from Indeed, says Megabyte Ronnie. Is that an independent wrestler? I'm unaware of Megabyte Ronnie, but he says he has an amazing chest mane. He calls it. I'll have to check that out after the show. All right.
Head over to our Patreon.
Another match that is one of
chests.
and I know Charlotte's the golden girl, but I am looking forward to this triple threat match here. I think this is going to be a good one. It is Asuka defending the WWE Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair in a triple threat match. This should be good as a match. I go into any Charlotte Flair match assuming that Charlotte is probably the favorite. I would like Asuka to retain, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I guess I'll let you guys kind of go, but I'm leaning Charlotte Flair here. I know, shocker. But I am leaning Charlotte Flair here. That's what I'm doing. Yep, that's where I'm heading. It's a shame, really, because Asuka... I was so excited when Asuka came back in the Royal Rumble as the new, and then she is the champion, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, very underwhelming for me what they've been doing with Asuka here. So, but go ahead. Let me know. Oh, wow, we got Ben Omen of the Rads in the chat saying, we love beards with the touching tips, bro. Well, touching tips.
We love the Rads. The Rads are hi, Ben. They're rad. No, like, They got some big things coming up. Go check out Tales from the Undercard. That was a good episode this week. And good on the Rads. They're doing awesome with their face turn. I love it. Good on them.
Pluggo, why don't you talk to me? How are you feeling about this triple threat match?
I don't know. There's so much to this where it's like you got the triple threat, Flair, Belair, then you got the threat of EO cashing in.
That is another thing.
I feel like this thing is gonna get goofy. You're gonna get Bayley coming out. It's just when it could have just been Belair and Flair one-on-one, which is what we all wanted. And I know the Asuka, she's the champ, so you got to give her the champ. Why put the belt on Asuka and go this route anyway? I don't know. But yeah, I'm not sure who wins it. If I had to guess, oh man, I don't know. I guess I would pick Belair.
Okay.
To win.
Do you think EO cashes in though?
I think she does. I think they can't help themselves. I think they're like, oh my God, we've already lasted a month. Let's cash this baby in. We got to do it. So let's do it at SummerSlam. Because I actually don't know if Damien's going to be the one that does it. I don't know.
Do we think so? We think there probably will be a cash in at least.
I think one of them will, and I think it's going to be EO. And I don't know if she's successful or not because they haven't done that either.
They better.
Warren,
if it's EO,
convince me of something because I think there's too many things going on here. They could have kept it simple.
So, as far as a title match goes, I am completely disinterested by triple threats. I think you build a challenger for your champion and you go for it. That being said, the women in WWE usually perform very well in their triple threats. They're usually entertaining matches. Like Pluggo said, I think there is potential for a lot of fucking nonsense in this match because don't forget these matches are no disqualifications. So but I think the result is going to be this. I think Charlotte Flair wins. EO cashes in on Charlotte. And do you know why? Because they want to continue inflating Charlotte Flair's title wins.
Gotta get her to 16.
They're going to get her to 16, and then she's going to fight EO in a couple of weeks, and she's going to win it off of EO clean up to 17. There you go. I think that's what legitimately. I think that's what they're doing.
And we have Henry in the chat. Welcome to the chat, my friend.
Yeah, what's good?
He says it's sad that no one expects Asuka to win just because of WWE booking. Because I feel it, but it's so sad. I think that makes perfect sense what you just said, Warren. I had Charlotte winning the match, but that makes perfect sense because that's a quick way to get Charlotte two more on the
then
on the
she
total.
Fight Rick, so Rick tries to keep his.
Yeah, that makes too much sense almost. Yeah, but
it's quintessential WWE booking when it comes to Charlotte. It just makes perfect sense.
Yep, it does. All right, we have two more matches to discuss. Next, we have a singles match. Right now, there is still no stipulation, so I guess it's just going to be one-on-one. I know the rumor leading into this was it was going to be. Did they add a stipulation? Did I miss it?
No, they didn't.
Cody and Brock?
Not yet.
I know there was.
I missed it.
Saying that they expected this to be. That they were going to add a stipulation to this match, but they have not yet. So as of right now, it is a one-on-one, just a singles rubber match.
Makes me feel like it's not real, but that's crazy.
And it is Cody Rhodes going up against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, let's go. That's the match I'm most looking forward to on the entire card. I'm stoked for this.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I'm stoked for this because not unlike Gunther matches, Brock matches break the mold. They don't follow the WWE house style. He's going to throw Cody around. Cody's going to fight back. He's going to be the valiant underdog, and he's going to beat Brock, and everyone's going to go nuts. Or at least that's what conventional logic would have you do, because Cody eventually has a story to finish, or so I've been told. And so we got to get back on there. Hopefully, Cody is done paying his dues now that he can. Yeah.
I would hope. Has he gone through enough adversity, guys?
I don't know. I feel like
3 months of getting the shit kicked in by Brock Lesnar.
I mean, he's barely been in
for him to win a big match.
He's barely been in the company for 2 years. What are we doing?
When is he gonna realize that he came from a secondary company to the big leagues?
Oh, we didn't even talk about.
Came from a smoky tavern thing. What are we doing? No,
They had a 2-hour documentary about a guy that's only been around for 2 years. It's wild.
Incredible. Where is Chad Gable's 2-hour documentary? Am I right, fellas?
At this point, where's Logan Paul's? Anyway,
we're already trailing.
They're coming up after Dom's.
No, this match should kick all sorts of ass.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm legitimately excited for this match. I love Brock. In the current environment of World Wrestling Entertainment, I love Brock Lesnar matches. I'm looking forward to this. Cody's going to work his ass off. I mean, that's his thing. Nonetheless, he's going to work his ass off, and Brock is going to be brutal, and it's going to rule. I'm excited. This is the match I'm most looking forward to.
Will Brock Lesnar come out with a tractor or something different like last year? Because he has to top
because
that, right?
it was the tractor last year.
Last year was the tractor.
I was so amped up about it.
This is back heel badass Brock.
I was so amped up about that SummerSlam. I messaged Spencer, was like, I'll do a react by myself. I don't even care. I want to talk about this. Then I wrangled up a couple of us and I went on the wrong Twitch account.
Lovely.
And Spencer was like, you're on the wrong account, bro. And I was like, whoops.
I don't remember that. I was at SummerSlam. I saw the track.
That's why. But I think Cody has to win, right? He's got to dock.
He's got to win the feud with Brock.
He's got to win the feud.
100%.
Like, what are you doing here if he does it? I mean, he should be champion. Am I right, JPJ?
Yes.
Okay. He doesn't yell about it anymore, but you can
tell. I could, but I'm. There's been enough yelling on this episode. I think we're all right. I think we've hit their yelling quota. Even though I've loved every second of it, but yes, Cody should be. Yes, he should have beat Roman.
So, hey Warren, don't ask JPJ about the Red Sox trade deadline. Don't super chat any questions about the Red Sox. Don't do it.
We don't need to do that.
You don't want to hear JPJ
out. But so we are all in agreement that Cody's he has to win this match.
I would be absolutely shocked.
It would be ridiculous if he did not.
No, it would make no sense. It would make worse sense than WrestleMania.
I agree. All right, we are to the main event. The Civil War continues. Tribal combat for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship and the recognition of being called the true tribal chief. Roman Reigns will be defending against Jey Uso.
It's bigger than the belts, fam.
This is bigger than the belts.
So why are the belts involved? Why didn't Cody win then? God damn it!
Correct.
See, this is the whole thing. No, but this is the whole
match
thing.
As fucking advertised. Now I'm gonna get.
It doesn't matter. Like the whole story about the bloodline coming apart at the seams has nothing to do with the titles. It could carry it on its own. Cody could have won the belts and have him and Brock fight for the universal undisputed what the fuck ever, which by the way, the title is disputed because there's another world championship in the company. I'm just putting that out there. If you got 2 world championships in your company, one of them is disputed. I'm just going to put that out there. But when it comes to this nonsense here, who cares if the belts are involved? And like you guys said it, they said it themselves. It's bigger than the belts. Why the fuck did you not just put the belt on Cody and do your little melodrama, which would have done ratings nonetheless? It would have done ratings nonetheless. It would have done great business. Like, the belts don't matter in this, and it's almost frustrating that they're still being carried around and
quarantined into this. Yeah, the other one. Yeah.
They had to get to 1,000 days. That's what it was for. That's literally the only reason they did it.
And again, why? What is this 1,000 day number? Why? It's an arbitrary. It's a nice round number. It's arbitrary. It doesn't mean anything. Who cares?
I agree.
Who cares?
I agree. But what you said, and don't get me wrong. I have really liked the Cody Brock stuff. I think it's been fine. I, like Warren, am very much looking forward to that match. This feud could have meant even more if it was revolved around a world title. If Cody was the champion, he won the first time. Brock takes the belt for him. Now he's going after it again to win it back at However you want to do it. That feud, which has been a good feud, and it's a high-profile feud, would mean even more if it was for a title. And like they've openly said on my television screen to me, this is bigger than the championships. So like Warren said, why the fuck are the championships involved then?
And from the get-go with this whole Brock and Cody thing is like, why is Brock coming after Cody? Brock only shows up to fight for titles.
Yes. He hasn't said it yet.
It makes no sense.
He hasn't
You know what?
like
Would have
that-
been a good reason why Brock came back to take out Cody, to go after the fucking world championship that Cody had after WrestleMania.
Because Brock is a prize fighter. Brock comes in to win the prizes and go home. He doesn't. Cody Rhodes, he doesn't have a belt. Who is this schlub? I don't give a shit.
He's got the weight belt. Maybe Brock needs a new one.
But you know what I mean? You know, it doesn't. None of it really connects, and you really didn't need anyway. This is a weapons wild match, I believe.
Basically, what it sounds like is a no holds barred match. That's what
It was a contract signing that they didn't sign the contract because they didn't need to, because it's tribal combat. Oops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they hugged, right? Or they touched skulls. What did they do?
Yeah, they kind of had like a moment of like, yeah.
My only thing with all of what we just said, real quick, was that the Cody camp, everybody in the Cody camp is like, well, Cody's got to be the guy to take it off of Roman. How the hell do you get there? Because they're on different brands.
They're going to
win the Rumble.
There you go. There's your out. There it is right there. He wins the Rumble again this year, and then you can challenge for whatever title. That's your out. That's how it works. But besides, Pluggo, you've already put too much thought into this because WWE doesn't give a shit about the brand split. So you've already thought about it too much.
Sorry, I apologize.
It's crazy
because it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
bad me.
I'm just
I don't see Jay winning it. I just don't,
because it's for the titles. If this wasn't for a title,
he would win.
I could believe Jay could win this match.
See, me, it's the opposite.
Oh, it is really?
Yeah, I see, because they added the thing where, whoever wins is the real tribal chief. Then I'm like, okay, no, that's it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Nope. Then for sure, I think they telegraphed the ending to this. Jay's not winning. If they hadn't added that in, there is a legitimate case you could make for Jey Uso winning.
Yeah, you pin Roman.
Roman conducting some creative control at WrestleMania and saying, "No, I'm dropping the titles to one of my boys."
You could.
And
this whole thing started with Jay. You know what I mean? The whole thing started with Jay. Jay was
the whole
first,
thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jay was the first one that Roman solidified his heel turning into the tribal chief character with Jay. So it makes sense to end it with Jay, but I don't think they're going to end it here because I don't think I think Jay has proven over this story that he can be a solo star here. I think he gets, but he needs to do it without the story, and the views that the story gets has obviously helped that tremendously. So it'll be a little bit different once to see how he ends up as a solo star, not involved in the bloodline.
When he's going up against Chad Gable, no offense to Chad, but you get what I'm saying. When he moves on to like the Alpha Academy,
exactly. If he wins and is the tribal chief, and then his first challenger is, I don't know, anybody.
That's
not
Chad Gable.
Bloodline. Chad Gable. Like, is that going to have the same? Like, are we going to feel the same about Jey Uso at that moment? You know what I mean?
No,
because I do feel like he's shown another side of him where we always looked at him as, oh, he's part of the Usos, and then it's like, oh, well, maybe he can be a solo guy. You know?
Do you know how little faith I have in WWE creative? Do you want me to tell you what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
This is how little faith I have in all of this. Yeah. So Roman wins decisively, and the match will probably be, look, I'm always divided when it comes to Roman matches. They don't, part of it does it for me, and then another part doesn't. It's very 50-50. It depends. But they're going to have their big old main event. And then on next Friday on SmackDown, Roman hits the ring, says, I'm still the champion. I'm still the tribal chief. And I want to call out my Oos. Jay comes out, and he's like, you prove, and then Roman's like, you proved something. You stood up for yourself, and I want to welcome you back into the bloodline. And Jay says, all right, Oos. And they make up, and we're right back to where we fucking started.
Or
this is how little faith I have in creative.
Finger poke of doom. I put that out on socials the other day. They get in the ring.
Look,
they square
I am
up.
all about chaos. This would be outstanding stuff. Like, just like putting the belts on Jay, I'm begging WWE to just do something surprising and legitimately from left field that will get me interested. That at the very least, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to tune in to watch this. When Roman Reigns wins at SummerSlam, the WWE fans are going to be super excited. I won't. I'll be like, okay, business as usual. And I'm so close to guaranteeing, but I'm not going to guarantee it because I have no say in this. But I would not be surprised that they get back together on Friday, they're in the ring, and they hug it out, and the bloodline is okay. They just needed to get it out of their system. Now that we've reestablished the hierarchy, and you guys, but you guys are, you stood up for what you believed in, and I want you back at my side, and everyone's like, yeah, you're right, Roman, we're all friends again. And then everyone's gonna tell me, but this is such good creative, and I'm gonna be like, no, we're treading water like we have been for 18 months. It's the same fucking story all the time.
And Sami Zayn's
I wouldn't be surprised.
now. He can come back.
Because the it's doing such tremendous business for them right now. Like unbelievable business for them. Even the house shows. Do you guys remember before the pandemic? The house show business was in the toilet. We were all sitting around looking at the numbers and wondering, why are they still doing this? Hey, Kat, we're doing like, why are we still doing this? Because no one's going to the house shows. The house shows stink. Yeah. Stop. But now even the house shows are selling out. Like it's ridiculous the amount of business this bloodline thing is doing. I'm convinced that they're scared to death to pull the plug on it. I'm convinced they're thinking of ways to extend it, and I would not be surprised at all that they do a thing where it's like, the tribe sticks together or any kind of, they create new rules all the time. Who gives a shit? They'll create something. The Usos and Roman will get back together. We'll be back to square one, and everyone will call it cinema. While I'll be sitting there going, "This is the most redundant story I've ever seen."
Yeah. And we got Henry in the chat saying, "Yes, exactly." Being in the audience that night at Mania, Cody should have won. Their frustrating attempt at long-term storytelling is bad. It's been 16 years or so, as the doc says. That's enough time. The problem is that documentary will tell you it's been 16 years. The story that they're telling on my television screen, Cody coming back at WrestleMania last year or 2 years, whatever that 2 years ago at this point last year, that's when that's what the whole reason why they didn't do it is because you heard, he hasn't gone through enough adversity. The years before, he went through so much adversity that he fucking quit the company. Said, I'm done here. I'm going somewhere else. I'm starting a new company because I'm done here. But they don't talk about that on the TV screen. They'll throw it in a documentary, but God forbid it's part of the story that we're seeing.
His father didn't pay enough dues either. Dusty is his name. Dusty Rhodes, right? Even that fella.
Makes no sense. Anyway, all right.
All that aside,
so what are we saying?
Summerslam, guys.
Yeah, Roman wins, right? Roman wins.
Yes,
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, are we ever gonna?
Here's what needs
Roman
to
wins.
happen.
Lol. I think this is where we're at.
Yeah,
Roman wins. LOL.
That's where we're at. Yeah.
Mike saying JP Hayes. I think I need to go on a vacation, and you two just need to yell for 2 hours. I think that'd be great. I'll be sitting back.
It's unbelievable.
I love it. No, it is. It's terrible. I get it.
It was the easiest story to ever tell. It was literally in the palm of their fucking hands, and they were like, "No,
we're gonna swerve them. Give them a swerve."
Yeah, no.
Ridiculous. I didn't like it either.
And now every time that Roman defends the title, it's like, okay, which is not often, but when he defends the title, it's like, what do we? Every time, it's like, oh, what does he do after this when he wins? I don't know. It's always like, oh, is this the time? No, they had literally. Sami Zayn, that story ended up being perfect, right? That was a great story. They didn't do it in Montreal.
Should have did it in Montreal. That's where I'm going to start yelling.
Pluggo was a big advocate that Sami should have won, as many people were. But I was like, no, that shouldn't happen because Cody's the guy, and Cody should win at WrestleMania. And then guess what? They didn't fucking do that either.
You know what? The Sami thing, for some reason now it's like these title reigns have to be these obnoxiously long things. No. Pluggo. He wins on Saturday in Montreal. He goes to Raw. Roman shows up, challenges for the belt. Sammy is okay, I'm doing it, and he loses it on Raw. We're right back to where we need. You just gave the people in Montreal who paid out their ass to see that show a beautiful moment, something that is a milestone in Sami Zayn's career and that fans everywhere can get behind. Just have him drop the title on Monday. Who cares after that? Who cares? WWE, they make moments, right? That's what I'm told. Well, they completely whiffed one there.
They whiffed one there, and then they could have made up for it and had a moment with Cody finally winning the belt his dad never did, coming back, doing all this shit, whiffed on it.
See, this is why. This is exactly why, because now where everyone's saying, "Oh, well, it's happening in Philadelphia next year." I'm like, it's so drawn out and boring. We're never going to recapture the magic that we had here, which is why I'm advocating for MJF and Cole to split as soon as possible. Instead of, this is the example right here, the counter example. You either do it long past when the excitement and the magic is gone, and it's not quite as meaningful, or you do it sooner and you capture that lightning in a bottle, and that's what.
And it's unfortunate. Yeah, because if they do drag it out, and I'm a Cody guy, I like Cody a lot. I've always been a Cody supporter.
Sure.
I'm a big Cody guy. That's clear. Pluggo brings up that WrestleMania moment every week because he knows I'm going to black out about it.
Just like you yelling.
Yeah, I'm a big Cody guy, and it's like even for me, I do still think he's the guy that should beat Roman because I thought he should have been the guy from the jump to beat Roman.
Sure.
And if it does happen, if Cody wins the Rumble again, great. And if he goes to WrestleMania, great. Hopefully they do pull the trigger if it happens next year. And it's going to be fine, but it's not going to be as big of a moment as it would have been if they did it in April.
Yes.
Period. End of story. And you sacrifice that to get to a fucking giant number that in 5 years, nobody's going to give a shit about. Nobody's going to care that Roman Reigns had the title for it. They'll tell us a million fucking times. Forever.
For some kayfabe, for a kayfabe result, like who cares?
Oh my God.
It's like as they say, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Oh, it's just so frustrating.
You can, but it ain't
and just
easy.
Like we're all wrestling fans. We've all
Challenge
been watching
accepted.
wrestling for a super duper long time.
There's some content for you, Pluggo.
The fact that you're telling me that you're not gonna when I hear stupid people. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. What?
When I hear stupid people telling me in interviews, Road Dogg, all these other people saying, well, the reason why I didn't have Cody hasn't gone through.
There's no reason. There's no conceivable reason.
How are we not?
There's no reason.
Bro, he's been going through adversity with WWE.
He was dashing at one point. He was Stardust at one point.
Yeah, literally.
I want to know. I want to know why the company that is all about stories.
That throne, bro.
I don't talk about that with Triple H. It's like, I don't talk about that.
That'd be the first thing. That'd be the first thing I'd bring up if I left Love Wrestling, went and did some shit, saw that they smashed some chair or something, and to disrespect me, and then I came back and be like, "What's up with the chair smashing, bro?" I'd be like, "Wait a second, JPJ. I thought we were boys."
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
we got
the
Mr.
first
saying
thing I'm bringing up.
That Cody literally wrestled with a torn pectoral muscle in a main event match that was voted as the match of the fucking year for your company. Comes back, wins the Royal Rumble. No.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, guys.
Cool.
Sorry, guys. Roman,
you got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues. You got to carry some bags around there, Cody, before you get.
You got to have a feud with Brock before we put that strap on you, brother. And I like Brock a lot.
Go get Roman some water. Roman's thirsty.
What are we doing? Mike, you're right. I am. Warren brings it out of me. Usually I let Warren be but today I wanted to match the energy.
We got to each our things in.
All right, that is SummerSlam.
This is the most yelling we've ever done on an episode.
There's a lot.
Of
This is a lot. This is.
I bring that out in people.
Yeah, you're gonna want to check this VOD because there's a lot of good shit on this one.
If I clipped out the non-yelling parts, it'd be the quickest episode of Beard's history.
It probably would be. Anyway,
we overtime.
We almost gone 3 damn hours tonight.
Good.
And it was a
we
fun
were slotted.
It was
for
a
2,
fun
but
3
we
hours.
gave you extra because we
It was a
love
damn
y'all.
fun 3 hours.
Yes.
We got Misfit coming in late saying Io Sky is leaving SummerSlam as champion. All right. Some of us picked that.
Mike has figured out the formula of the show because I'm always the less drunk guy because I don't drink at all. So
yeah.
I dropped little bombs
me and Warren are 2 drunk guys passionate about something, and you're the friend at the party. Calm down. It's all right, guys.
It's all right, guys. Yeah.
No, but
then when I start yelling, they're like, "You calm down." I'm like, "Wait a minute."
Warren, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Of course, guys.
Yeah. Oh my
you know
God.
we always welcome you with open arms here, and it's always a blast when you join us. So let the fine people know, because you got your weekly show. I mentioned the AEW Collision and Dynamite reviews. This month you've been hammering out almost daily content about the G1. So let everybody know where they can find all this good stuff and what you're doing and everything you're putting out these days.
Well, first and foremost, thank you, fellas, for having me on again. It had been a while, and I was really excited to come back. And I was Pluggo sent out the invitation, and he's like, "Oh, we could talk about SummerSlam." I said, "You want me on to talk about SummerSlam?
Yes.
Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, it'll be fine." Okay, all right, that's fine.
Hey, it worked out.
It worked out. We did. We had a good time.
Seen this show?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, well,
We love Warren too. I
Because
don't want some run-of-the-mill SummerSlam preview where they're like, everyone's going to have fun.
Yeah, no, it's like, I'm looking forward to the. No, it's like, okay. Well, I was your guy then. Thank you very much. Look, it's always I love being with you two Beards. It's exciting. I love it when you have me on. It's always a good time. So thank you again for inviting me and keeping me in your prayers. I don't know. The Mr. Warren Hayes Show is my podcast that I record every Tuesday night live on youtube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes. It's available then the next day on demand, both on YouTube and on your favorite podcast application, audio format. I do everything. Everything I do on YouTube also ends up on the audio side of things, so you can do whatever you prefer. And like JPJ said, I review Dynamite and Collision specifically every Thursday and Sundays when I put those out respectively. I take a night to sleep on things and then come back and try to have some good thoughts and reactions about it. So if you're into Dynamite, if you're into Collision, you want to have some thoughts and I like to think some fair criticism at the same time. Well, then jump right in. It's a good time. And yeah, I mean, we're in the final throes of the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 33. I've been doing daily content for the G1, at least every day that there's been matches. I've been recapping, reviewing, giving you analysis, thoughts, recommendations, the whole 9 yards. So that's also available on YouTube in podcast. So if you want to catch up, like there's only a few nights left. There's 4 nights of block action left. Then there's the playoffs and the finals. So it all comes to an end on August 13th. I'm looking because my content calendar's over there. So it all comes to an end on August 13th. So if you want to catch up, if you want to get a feel for it, I'm your Huckleberry, man. You
and
jump
I will
right
say,
in.
you know, I put Warren over a lot in general, but I will say for someone like me, watching New Japan at that hour I run a coffee shop. It's a shoot job. I got to wake up early, so I don't have a lot of time that early to be either staying up and watching the G1 or even catching up with the G1. And I have used Warren this last 3 weeks or so as basically my info in any match that he has told me to go out of my way to watch. I've gone out of my way to watch.
Thank you.
So I can stand by. If you're someone that maybe wants to learn more about New Japan, you want to figure out what this G1 is about, even if you don't know what the G1 is about, I would recommend Warren's show because it is keeping me up I know everything that's going on, and it's because Warren's great at what he does. So
thank you.
You can go check out that check out all his shit. His shit is good, but go check out that G1 stuff if you wanted to learn, because that's really got me through, because I have not had a ton of time to watch a lot of it.
No, I can't gush over Warren. You ruined it. Now I have to say,
I'm sure
Warren, you suck, Warren. I'm just kidding.
All right.
Yeah, he took all the
thank you.
thunder out of it. No, you're the best, Warren. We love you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Pluggo, do your thing.
Do I do the thing?
Let the people know where they can find you and us and all that.
I got some stuff coming up. Like
you do.
This weekend, I got a get-to-know spotlight interview with Katrina Creed ahead of her IWS Championship match on Saturday. That's going to be our boy Big Ben Ortmans. I'm sorry. I got Ben Oman and Ortmans all mixed in the head. Lots of Bens going on, but he'll be challenging for that thing too. I'll be Saturday morning with Blair right here on this channel for 4 Exposure, where we'll be breaking down some independent wrestling of the week. You can find me at Pluggo _ on all the social medias. That'll be fun. You'll see my face. I do a lot of goofy shit over there, as you've heard today. And then at B2Beards for all the socials to stay up to date on what we got going on as a show. We always got new things happening. You never know. So do that. What else? Check out our Patreon. Love Wrestling.
The Love Wrestling Patreon. You find some cool stuff over there.
Consider subscribing. We got exclusive matches, exclusive content. Ryan can definitely
you
can
missed
vouch
a whole
for
lot
our
of shit.
Patreon.
You missed a whole lot of stuff. I don't know how much you missed, bro, but we went in tonight.
We went in tonight. To
Ryan
check it out.
is one of our biggest Patreon advocates there, so he's
do be like Ryan. Shout out to DGMC for all the super chats. Shout out to everybody, all the new faces that were in the chat. Please come back. We're here every Thursday.
Come back. We're here every Thursday.
Except you're not this week. Next week,
Warren specifically moved off Thursday so he could join us as a guest from time. That's why he did it.
That's a shoot.
That's a shoot. So all you guys that Warren brought in, thank you for being here. We appreciate you being here.
He was the NXT to our AEW.
Come back, will you? Come back. Oh, what plan is? What is that?
Oh, it's my ficus.
That's the ficus.
It's my the
Would you
thing.
call me?
Listen, Ryan, you're gonna want to go back.
Everybody's here.
You're gonna want to go back and watch this one because there was a lot of yelling. There was a lot of yelling.
Ophelia asked if it was my new friend in the Rads next week guest hosting. It is not.
Oh,
next week, JPJ is on vacation. I'm running the show. Yes. And since we had such a fun show and we went long, I'll give you all a little for everybody in the chat. Next week, Taryn from accounting will be back in her guest hosting spot with me, taking the reins over for JPJ. I can tell you, if you thought this show was crazy.
This is how the show started, Kristen. It started exactly how you're seeing. This was at the beginning and the end of the show.
So it'll be me and TFA. JPJ, tell the people where you find you so we can get Sue on the screen and get everybody out of here. Enjoy your night.
Yeah. You can find me at JPJ Loves Gaming on the Twitter machine, over on Threads, over on Blue Sky. You can find me on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/JPJ Loves Gaming. Like Pluggo said, I will be on vacation, but before I go on vacation, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, over on our friend Josh Robinson's YouTube and Twitch channel, we are doing our WWE 2K23 sim of SummerSlam. So if you enjoyed the SummerSlam preview tonight, we'll be simming that on WWE 2K23 over on Josh's channel tomorrow night at 6 p.m., 2 hours before SmackDown starts tomorrow. And then after that, I will officially be on vacation, so you can enjoy Taryn from accounting. She's become almost like the permanent fill-in for me, almost, it feels like. We had Ella J once, but this is the second time we're getting Taryn to fill in for me, so we appreciate her, and we love her.
She had a lot going on this last couple weeks. Had a lot to talk about.
She's got Warren's in the jungle. A lot of cool stuff to check out. Yeah. So for Warren Hayes and his plants, for Pluggo, thank you to everybody. Thank you for the generous super chats. Thank you for the engagement. The chat was a lot of fun tonight. Tonight was just
we went
a
an
lot
extra
of fun
hour for you
in
guys.
general. Yeah,
this
we went
awesome.
the whole extra hour, so that was a lot of good time. Hopefully, we will have Warren on sooner than how long it had been since we had him on again.
Hopefully, we'll have his plants on.
I mean,
we'll have plant updates next time.
Plant updates.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
All right, Warren, again, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you to everybody else. And until I will not see you next Thursday, but Pluggo will. But until the next time I see y'all, peace out.
Hey there, Pluggo and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. You know, get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you two beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Oh, or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans. Watch yourselves.